Let me tell you about MPM. McAllister Precision Marketing. They can assist up-and-coming racers with career advancement, promotion, and assist in sponsorship procurement. MPM also has media and professional etiquette training. They work with premier driver development teams and limited late models to late models. And they also help the teams to make it up to the levels of K&N, ARCA, Truck Series, and even NASCAR Xfinity. Contact Tanya McAllister today at McAllister Precision Marketing, 803-361-6199. Today, get on the board with MPM.
CrateInsider.com is your one source for crate racing tech and more. Whether you currently race with a crate engine or you are thinking about getting into the sport, our website has what you need. CrateInsider.com has tech videos, interviews with experts, and the best products in the industry. Dyno tested and proven, so we know they are the best products for crate engines. Visit CrateInsider.com today to get on the fast track to victory lane.
If you have not ordered at DirtCarLift.com in the motorsports racing world, you are absolutely way behind. But if you are an existing customer of the Dirt Car Lift product, you already know about why they use the concept of stop jacking and start lifting. DirtCarLift.com helps make things very easier in the pit area. Whether you need to change a flat tire, make a shock or spring adjustment, DirtCarLift.com can get all four sides up immediately, then having it go around from side to side to car. By the way, they have a special package and price for existing customers with a few changes to make your life a little easier. Give them a call at DirtCarLift.com today. Call them up again at 770-898-3907. 770-898-3907. And find out why the concept is true. To stop jacking and start lifting with DirtCarLift.com at the races today.
This is Finish Line.
This episode is an exclusive production solely for the private, non-commercial use of our listening audience. Any publication, reproduction, transmission of the accounts without the express written consent or permission is restricted and prohibited. To hear this replay or other previous podcasts, download on iHeartRadio, iTunes Radio, and TuneIn. As always, this show is for you. Thank you for listening.
This is Finish Line. Undisputed, unrealistic, unscripted, and unrehearsed. This is Finish Line, a weekly podcast talking about the positive and negative of motorsports, asking the questions to drivers, promoters, and personalities, getting the information and responses of the sport others dare not to ask or even discuss. This is Finish Line. This radio podcast is from the heart, an in-depth analysis of everything in NASCAR, NHRA, IHRA, IndyCar, grassroots motorsports, asphalt, dirt, drag racing, karting, tractor pulling, boat racing, demolition derbies, and much more. From touring events to national, regional, weekly, and more. This is the podcast where the bull stops here. Whether it's asphalt, dirt, or drag racing, or anything else in life, there is always a finish line. Now, he's a respected veteran broadcaster with over 20-plus years experience calling all forms of sports for public address, TV, and radio, from NASCAR to the grassroots. Please welcome your host, Wesley Outland. This is Finish Line.
Good afternoon. Stormy, rainy, weather infested. Can I say infested? Storms and weather. North Carolina. Was it you in the background laughing? Welcome to Finish Line. Will it work? I think it should. Welcome to Finish Line, everybody. It is the
Wednesday afternoon, high noon as they always say in the Old West terminology. We are at the top of the hour at 12 p.m. in the East Coast, 11 a.m. in the central area. Texas is where, of course, our production studio man is at, Mr. Charles Wooten. He'll chime in a time or two. We welcome you to Finish Line. I am, again, looking forward to talking with some great drivers from throughout the weekend, their successes and all the great work that they've done. Charles, you got me looking good today, man. Look at me. Except for my glasses being crooked. I don't know what's the deal here. My glasses are crooked. You see this? Look at, is it glasses or my head's crooked? One or the other. I digress. We got a good show for you today. Hey, look, we got a great show for you today. We've got everybody from dirt to pavement all throughout the week, from the weekend, all their successes. We've got updates on big things going on this weekend. We're going to recap on some things from this previous weekend. And we're going to have our fingers crossed if we're going to damn race this weekend. Already the World of Outlaws have pulled out the Rev. There's a race at, Louisiana. World of Outlaw case equipment, late models. Are you serious? At the Rev? What, they're going to be a pavement track again? Talk to me. Talk to your audience. It's Finish Line with Charles and Wesley. Charles,
yes.
What's up, buddy?
So, I read on Facebook, Dylan Scott, his music career is taking off, and they are pulling the dirt out. So, if that cancels, that would be the last one there for a while anyway. No more dirt racing at the Rev.
Thank you for letting me take a drink. So when you're on radio, you don't see this, but whenever we're on camera, obviously, I had to take a swig of solemnity here. So, Charles, man, yeah. The Rev, I've been there before, but it was Holden Raceway. Of course, they renamed it to the Rev. They've had some big events. They were scheduled to run the World of Outlaw late models this past weekend, but unfortunately, it looks like it's been postponed or canceled, actually, due to weather. So, Charles, it's like to deal with the weather, buddy. We've had some pesky weather the last couple of years for sure. So we're going to try to get our way around it again, and hopefully we'll keep our fingers crossed. By the way, this just coming in currently right now. Everything's still on schedule. There might be a delay of things for the Cars Tour opener, which is the Old North State Nationals at Caraway Speedway. We'll give you information on that. Man, Charles, when it's race season again, when it just sucks when the weather messes everything up. You know that? I mean, we just can't get the perfect storm. Can't get the perfect storm of great weather and good racing.
There's always a winter, and sometimes it's Mother Nature.
Yeah, Mother Nature looks like it's going to win out this weekend as well. But it looks like there's a massive storm front that has made its way in, and it is literally pummeling the entire area, and it is not going to let up here in the Carolinas until probably after Saturday night, Sunday morning is what it's looking like. The forecast, and I was talking to somebody about it the other week ago, the forecast has literally called for rain the last 4 days, 2 or 3 days ago, for the entire week of this week. So, hey, we've got a great show for you today for the March 9th edition of Finish Line. Let's not waste no time. Here's your guest panel for this afternoon on March 9th, 2022. This was recorded the other night. You will notice the screen backdrop done differently. The driver at Archdale, North Carolina, is a full-time carpenter in construction. And, of course, Josh Lowder, the winner at Southern National Motorsports Park in the Carolina Pro Late Model Series Lid Lifter. Over the weekend, he's joining us on the program for a pre-recorded interview to air live on the show. That's coming up next. Chandler Smith is going to possibly reschedule for the second hour. He is in a TRD meeting with Toyota and his racing team. He will be possibly filling in the 135 spot with Corey Hedgecock. So, Rhinelander, Wisconsin, iRacing, and making his inaugural in NASCAR Xfinity start this Saturday at Phoenix Raceway. Parker Retzlaff will be on the program. Hunter Robbins, who was the 2004 and the 2020 winner of the Alabama 200, Montgomery, Alabama Speedway. Big shout out to, of course, Stan Harrison getting the win. Hunter Robbins, he joins us on the program on Finish Line. That's not done. That's only hour number 1. Reset it. We go into hour number 2. Winner of the big NASCAR late model stock race over the weekend at Hickory Motor Speedway, Connor Hall is going to be joining us. He'll be talking about, of course, that big win. His biggest achievement ever was a couple of years ago when he won the Hampton Heat 200 at Langley Speedway in Hampton, Virginia. He's on the program. Colton Flinner, a buddy of mine from the world of crates, now in super late models, picked up the season opener win at Port Royal Speedway in Pennsylvania. The C-Man Colton Flinner's on the program. Corey Hedgecock has had some work-related things go on, and he's not able to be with us, but we do want to acknowledge him for being the winner of the Tuckasee Toilet Bowl, not only for the super late models, but also the Crate Racing U.S. He won also the big money bonus of the Spring National, or the Winter Series for Corey Hedgecock, Loud and Lightning from Tennessee, and in doing so, we're planning to put Chandler Smith in that spot. And finally, winner of the biggest late model race of his career, his first career late model win, Goldsboro, North Carolina's Dylan Newsome. That's all coming up. Charles is here. He'll chime in. We're taking a break to thank Crate Insider, and when we come back, we are going to be talking, of course. We're taking a break to thank my friend Tanya McAllister in MPM Marketing. When we come back, it is the recorded interview from Monday evening with Josh Louder. Hang on, strap on tight. It's a good show. It's Finish Line. We're back in a moment.
Let me tell you about MPM McAllister Precision Marketing. They can assist up-and-coming racers with career advancement, promotion, and assist in sponsorship procurement. MPM also has media and professional etiquette training. They work with premier driver development teams and limited late models to late models. And they also help the teams to make it up to the levels of K&N, ARCA, Truck Series, and even NASCAR Xfinity. Contact Tanya McAllister today at McAllister Precision Marketing, 803-361-6199. Today, get on the board with MPM.
Hey, welcome back to Finish Line. And, of course, McAllister Precision Marketing, big partners here with Finish Line for a couple of years, and they will be a big part of the Cars Tour that fires up this weekend, of course, in the Old North State Nationals. 30,000 to win race. Follow MPM Marketing and Tanya McAllister for all coverage. Speaking of Caraway, speaking of the Carolina Pro Late Model Series, Keith Graham was on Finish Line last week highlighting Southern National, and this week, as I guaranteed, we have the winner of the event for the season opener, lid lifter of the Carolina Pro Late Model Series, back in the 63 machine, the driver they call the Blue Collar out of Archdale, North Carolina, Josh Louder. Welcome back to Finish Line, by the way.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Hey, congratulations to you. You know, I was in the flag stand at Goodyear All-American Speedway working the events and covering that show. Me and Andy Marquise and Zach Evans with Racing America were all watching the highlights because they did cover on Racing America the Carolina Pro Late Model event. Man, you jumped out in front at the drop of the green, never looked back. How was the weekend at Kenley for you?
It was awesome. It really went perfect for us. We showed good speed and practice all day. Then, we qualified the pole. We drew fourth on the invert, fell back to fifth, and I think around lap 31, 32, we took the lead, and we lost it somewhere around lap 50 on a caution, and got it back within a few laps and led the rest of the way to the finish. So,
are you a fan of the invert? I mean, obviously, it looked like at the top of the ladder all day long, you're doing really well, fast time, setting quick time, doing really, really good. And then there's the inversion. Does the inversion mess you guys up as drivers, or do you feel like that's something that it's going to make it more exciting and really show the talents that you as a driver have, as well as what the car's going to do?
Well, of course, as a driver, if I qualify on the pole, I want to start on the pole. But, I understand that they want to make a show out of it, and you need to have some invert and make a race out of it. And it does make for better racing, especially at a place like Southern National, where even when you do have a really good car, it's still hard to pass car, especially a car that's, just as good as you. But, it makes for a better show, and you just got to really be on your game and have your car just right to be able to drive back to the front. Fortunately, we do 4, 6, or 8 invert. Couldn't have went better. We did it 4, so – it wasn't too bad. It was all right.
And, of course, I'm looking forward to seeing you all at the Franklin County Speedway as I had other obligations last weekend, so I wasn't available. But I am the announcer of the Carolina Pro Late Model Series, so I'll be seeing you for the remainder of the 13-race schedule. I'm looking really, really forward to it. And that next event is in 2 weeks, not this Saturday, but next Saturday at Franklin County Speedway in Callaway, Virginia. Their lid lifter for the 2022 season opener. Of course, Langley and Kimberly Austin, great people, and looking forward to see what that awesome track in Callaway, Virginia provides. Back to the concept of the racing program. I've always used we had Keith Graham on Finish Line last week, and I said often imitated, never duplicated. And Josh, now you've got all of these different pro late model series and cars pro late models and all pro limited series and other fly-by-night deals. The ASA Southeast Asphalt Tour kind of got it started for pro late model racing on pavement, and Keith Graham took his idea and it's going through I got to say, I got to give him props because obviously he launched it in 2019. 2020 sucked because of COVID. We all went through the bad times in that, Josh. Last year was trying to hang in the men with the shortage of race parts and the tires. Now we're getting rising fuel costs, the economy, everything's going up in life. It seems like Keith Graham and Wendy and the Carolina Pro Series cannot catch a break, but what keeps you supporting that program?
Well, I started racing the supers or the straight rail cars like 3 years ago, and I fell in love with them over the perimeter chassis cars, and decided, hey, this is what we want to do. And back then we were running with the PRA series. And then, shortly after that, Keith came out with his series. He had real good car counts. He made it affordable with the tire rules and the motor packages. And we said, hey, let's give this a try. So we did. And, Keith seems to be fair. He does a great job. Him and Wendy and the whole Carolina Pro staff, they do a real good job. And, I like the racetracks we go to. Most of them, like last year, was my first time at a whole lot of them. And I've enjoyed doing that. We was kind of stuck where we were just running Caraway and Ace for years and years and years. And we wanted an opportunity to get to travel around the different tracks with a group of guys that for most of them, it was their first time at these different racetracks too. So it kind of put us all on an even playing field. And it's just a lot of fun to do. They put on a great show. I think, they easily have 15 to 20 cars or more each race. And the car count great. And we're going to support Keith all year this year in their series and run for the championship. So we're going to make them all. We might hit a couple of cars toy races with our pro car and try that out. But for now, the plan is to, keep running Keith's deal. So.
And I think that's conversations that me and Keith have had on phone via us as well as on broadcast where he was on here last week. And the bottom line is, and this is to the cars, to the cars tour, to any sanctioning body out there, as well as the Carolina Pro late models, any promoter out there, tracks out there, do you. As I always hear people say this, you do you. You focus on your deal. You focus on your product. You focus on your program. You focus on your drivers like, of course, Josh Lauder, and they're going to be there at the end. I believe that if you take care of your customers, they're going to take care of you. And when it comes to motorsports and a sanctioning body, Josh, I guess you'd have to agree. The customer, most importantly, is the drivers, but then the fans get that in return, because if the series is taking care of the drivers are going to take care of the series, and in that way it's tenfold. The fans are going to get entertained on the racetrack.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. I mean, they're doing a good job. They're getting car counts, and we had a dominant race last weekend, but most of the races last year were won by a lot of different drivers, and it's made it interesting.
Right.
It's a lot of fun. So.
And that's got to make it. I know you just said that there was multiple winners last year in the races. There wasn't just one person that just set the world on fire in the Carolina Pro Series every week. Obviously, that's got to make you feel comfortable because no matter where you go, every car has a level playing field shot of winning.
Yeah, I believe we do. Everybody's got a pretty even shot at winning. Everybody's real close when you look at our lap times. I think in the race, the top, 10 all ran within a tenth and a half, 2 tenths of each other. for their fastest lap time. So, I mean, you know, that's close racing. That's half the field. That's within 2/10 of each other. You know, that's great. It makes for good racing.
Certainly does, man. I will say this. You know, you look at where you come from, and you started from, you know, running Caraway, Hickory, and Ace. You primarily Caraway and Ace because they're all in that you know location. Again, by the way, on Finish Line, we're talking to Archdale, North Carolina's Josh Louder. He picked up the win in the season opener for the Carolina Pro Late Model Series at Southern National over the weekend. And by the way, if you are a subscriber yearly or monthly to Racing America and you go back, you can see the highlights of this race. They have articles about everything. They did a phenomenal job covering the race. I even heard that Mark Keeler brought the big trailer themselves, production trailer, down to Kinley and had the full-blown production of setting up and doing everything right out of the gate. And they're covering every event this year on Racing America. A couple of more minutes with the driver of Josh Louder. And Josh, you talked about being the local guy. And I mean that in no disrespect, not even to you local drivers out there. Traveling, adapting to the traveling life, because, hey, I had to do that as a broadcaster. You go from being a PA announcer to being a series announcer to being a broadcaster of what we do today. You know, how do you adapt? How do you adapt to the miles on the road and the logistics and the travel and the hotels, and especially being somebody that was a homebody like you at Caraway and Ace?
Yeah, it's all new to us. You know, we try to get the hotels in advance. We like to go down the day or two before and at least get some laps on the track before we show up to race, do some tests. But I mean, you know, you just got to work your work schedule and everything else around it. You know, sometimes you need to be at work, but you need to be at the racetrack, and you kind of got to prioritize which one's more important. But you know, most of the racetracks are within 2 to 3 hours away, so we're driving that back and forth. But when we go to, you know, Kingsport or Anderson, we'll be staying overnight.
Goodyear.
Yeah,
Goodyear, Carteret County, those long places. Yes.
Yeah, Carteret's a haul for us. You know, last year we just went down there and stayed, ate some good seafood on Friday night, and raced on Saturday. So.
Good old Mayflower, some other places as well, for sure. Definitely. Well, man, I'll tell you what, and I'm going to ask you this question in closing before you thank your sponsors here, by the way. We're with Josh Louder, wrapping things up with him on Finish Line. My final question is, and I asked this to Keith last week as well, we've got an awesome 2022 racing schedule for the Carolina Pro Late Model Series. You have 11 different race venues and 13 events. There's only Southern National and Hickory that are multi-events. I think there's 3 races at Hickory and 2 at Kinley. We don't even go back to Southern National until November for the Thanksgiving Classic that's going to be paying $50,000 to win in the late models. What tracks are you looking forward to going to, or what's going to be that all-time favorite track you're going back to for this year?
You know, I really like Southern National. That track fits my driving style. You know, we've got a good setup for that track, good handle on it. So I can't wait to get back there, obviously. You know, I've never been to Anderson. I've never been to Goodyear. So I'm really looking forward to those 2 tracks. I've never been to Kingsport. That's going to be a totally different track type for us, being all concrete.
The concrete jungle, as I called it.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to trying some of these new places out that I've never been to. I mean, I enjoy that, going to these tracks I've never seen, never been to. And, you know, a lot of the Carolina Pro guys haven't been to Kingsport. So it's fun to go somewhere new, and we're all on kind of even playing ground, and we're all new there. So it makes it an advantage. You know, nobody really has that home track advantage there. So.
The producer in my ear, Charles, just said Wesley of the Jungle. I lost it. I tried to hold it. I really did. So, Josh, congratulations to you, buddy. This is what I have to put up with, okay? Are you hearing this, Josh? I don't think you are. Before I let you go, man, congratulations, and thanks for being on Finish Line this afternoon, and thank your sponsors, and we'll see you in a few weeks at Franklin County.
Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate you having me on. You know, I got to thank, you know, the CPLM series and their staff for putting on the shows. Louder Construction is my main sponsor. My guys back at the shop, Carl and David, and you know, Fury Race Cars for all they do to help me out. And you know, we look forward to Franklin County in 2 weeks.
And, of course, a lot of drivers on dirt and pavement get their crate late model parts, engines, accessories, and more from CrateInsider.com. And now here is a word from my good friend Kate Dillon and her sponsor. Josh, thanks for being on Finish Line, buddy.
Yes, thank you.
CrateInsider.com is your one source for crate racing tech and more. Whether you currently race with a crate engine or you are thinking about getting into the sport, our website has what you need. CrateInsider.com has tech videos, interviews with experts, and the best products in the industry. Dyno tested and proven, so we know they are the best products for crate engines. Visit CrateInsider.com today to get on the fast track to victory lane.
Hey, we changed the background again. Welcome back to Finish Line. Where's my music at? Where's my music at?
This is Finish Line.
Well, that music and then some instrumental music in the background. You know, I'm a music guy, Charles. Come on, seriously. Hey, welcome back to Finish Line. We welcome you back to the program. Awesome interview, by the way, with Josh Lauder, Carolina Pro Late Model Series. Remember, this is coming up next Saturday on March the 19th, and that will be, of course, in 10 days' time at the Franklin County Speedway in Callaway, Virginia. Langley and Kimberly Austin have an awesome racetrack there, and they invite you to go join, of course, the series with Keith and Wendy, Josh Lauder, everyone else involved. Find all the details at Carolina Pro Late Models. CarolinaLateModels.com. It's CarolinaLateModels.com. And now we go back to the line. Now we can hear some music. Joining us, do me a favor, Parker. Turn your phone like that, brother. There you go. You tried. Ponzi Racing entry. Ready to roll. He'll be making his debut this weekend in the NASCAR Xfinity Series at Phoenix Raceway that I've known for a couple of years, not only in the ARCA Menards East Series. He's ran some West races. He's ran Bristol. He's, of course, getting a big opportunity now to get a chance to race in the NASCAR Xfinity Series at Phoenix Raceway in Arizona this weekend. From Rhinelander, Wisconsin, Parker Retzlaff. Parker, what's up, bud? Welcome to Finish Line.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, I'm just getting ready for this weekend and making sure I'm as prepared as I can be for the first start in the Xfinity Series.
So as the old cliche, calm, poised, collective, but on the surface of things, but under that water, those feet are turning 100 miles an hour right now. You got to be excited for this opportunity.
Yeah, I'm very excited for the opportunity, but also a little bit nervous and just trying to make sure I have everything as good as I can before I get there to try and be as best as I can be.
And, of course, the driver out of Rhinelander, Wisconsin, will be driving the Ponzi Eco Tracks entry for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. His Ford will be a part of the event for the Saturday race at Phoenix Raceway. And, of course, you can watch that on FS1, listen to it on the Motor Racing Network and NASCAR Sirius XM, NASCAR Radio Channel 90. Parker, the floor's yours, young man. I know you from iRacing. We're going to talk about iRacing in a moment, but talk about how you got your career started. And it looks like iRacing, also real racing, has got you this tremendous opportunity this Saturday.
Yeah, my career all started when I was 7. I was racing sprint cars, and then I moved up to Bandoleros and raced all over the East Coast, and then I moved up to dirt trucks on like full-size dirt trucks, and then to asphalt like Midwest trucks, and then I did some late model stock racing, and then I did the ARCA racing, all while playing iRacing and just playing that in my spare time and trying to get better. And then I moved up to ARCA in 2019 and did that for 2 years, and now we're going to start this season for the Xfinity racing.
And again, we'll be able to see this young man in action. Car number 38, Ponzi, has jumped on board. Of course, they do a lot of stuff. A logger's best friend. Big shout out to Ponzi Eco Tracks. And I know you're excited about that because you're taking a car that you've used in iRacing, you've used in real racing events now, Parker, and now it's going to be on the NASCAR national scene.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Ponzi's been with me for a lot of years now, and I'm very thankful for everything they do for me and my entire racing career. And I'm going to hope to give them a good finish and come with a clean car and to get everyone's goals and have a good weekend.
Excited about going into this event, obviously, is Parker Retzlaff. Parker, how did the opportunity come about? You know, we have so many people that talk about, well, it's, you know, it's daddy's money, it's mommy's money, it's big sponsors' money. If you don't have those kind of things back and you really chance, you know, not taking anything away here. I've known you for a couple of years. You're a good old Midwestern guy. You know, you're a good old Midwestern kid, you know, still trying to make it, kind of like the cliche of a Southern boy trying to go somewhere in life, you know, chasing those dreams. Obviously, you know, how did the opportunities come to be able to get this ride for this Saturday?
Yeah, so we did some ARCA racing last year. The Sieg family was racing with the same team I was racing with in ARCA last year, and we just started talking, and we felt like it was a good opportunity. They had a seat open this year, and we felt like it was a good opportunity, and everyone was on board to do it. So it all just came together this year. So we're going to do 10 races this year and then see what next year leads to.
Yeah, that was about to be my next question. It was going to be, you know, where do you stand? Do you run just, you know, this one race off deal at Phoenix? But man, it sounds like we're going to see you on the Xfinity Series at least 10 times this year. That's pretty exciting. It's pretty exciting, Charles,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah,
Yeah, definitely. So
we're gonna.
go
Oh,
ahead.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, we're gonna do 10 races this year, and hopefully more racing this year with whatever we can get set up, and then hopefully next year we can do a full season or something closer to it.
The grind that goes into pull my camera back here just a little bit. The grind that goes into the scheduling of not just the NASCAR world, but the ARCA schedule, totally different than the world of short tracks. As a young man yourself, as somebody that's done the local programs, done a little bit of touring for the most part. How do you adapt at a young age, you know, Parker, to the vigorous go, go, go. You got to be here. You got this assignment. You got to go to this meet and greet. You got to do autographs. You got to do production meeting. You got to be here for this driver's meeting. You got to be here for NASCAR meetings. Oh, by the way, you got to be in the car to practice. You got to be ready to go for driver intros. Obviously, at your young age, that's going to be a lot of overwhelming things to deal with this Saturday.
Yeah, you just got to get used to just having yourself on time to everything and trying to schedule everything as good as you can so you have as much time to get everything done, and you just get used to it, just going and going and making sure you get everything done so everyone's happy.
Parker, let's switch gears here a little bit, buddy. So I know you from the late models and, of course, also from the ARCA program. Are you going to run some more ARCA racers this year, or is the focus now to try to commit and gather as much intel and experience in this NASCAR Xfinity ride for the 38 Ford?
I would love to do more ARCA races or short track races, but right now on our schedule is just focusing on that. But if everything comes together and we can get a deal and do some ARCA races and late model races and everything, I will definitely be doing it.
Hey, listen, some big races coming up in the Carolinas. Obviously, this weekend is the 30,000 to win Cars Tour late model stock opener for the Solid Rock Carriers Old North State Nationals. Of course, presented by Superior Tank Lines. That's at Caraway this weekend, weather permitting. Right now, they're saying all systems go. Hopefully, this weather will be out of here by Saturday afternoon. And in addition to that, also, you've got Southern National running the 50,000 to win Thanksgiving Classic. You've got the, of course, Valley Star 300. Are those races in the radar, Parker, that might make you consider possibly getting a late model car or getting involved with a late model team to try to go after those big shows?
I mean, yeah, definitely. If those are all big races, I would love to do, and I would like to do all the races I can this year. So if like I said, if we can get a deal together for any late model or ARCA car or anything, I would be more than happy to do the race and just get more seat time this year.
And obviously, you know Southern National. You've raced there before. Last year, as a matter of fact, in the ARCA East Series event there. You know, what's it like getting around the high banks at Kinley, for sure?
Yeah, it's just high bank, just running right on the bottom, and just you have to stay on the bottom because everyone just drives by. It's just a trainer on the bottom mostly, and it's fun. I liked it, but we had a good finish there, and I would love to go back.
Definitely a few more minutes with Parker Retzlaff. And by the way, we're flip-flopping him as Parker Retzlaff is now on the segment with, of course, Chandler Smith. Chandler Smith is also getting ready for the Rattler. Yes, I forgot about that big race. That's this weekend. Watch it on Racing America. The Rattler 250 in Opp, Alabama. That's a track out in the middle of nowhere in the southern U.S. And, of course, you'll be ready for that one. I'm serious, Charles is wanting to ask you a question. He's my /producer / co-host once in a while. So, Parker, listen in, and Charles, go ahead for Parker Retzlaff. You're on Finish Line.
So, Parker, obviously, I've interviewed you many times as it is because you dominate on iRacing. So, I'm just curious, everybody says it. Dale Jr.'s talked about it, and Wesley kind of hinted at it a little bit. These tracks that you've been to in real life versus sim racing, how similar are they as far as handling it? Obviously it's a sim, so you're going to have some different stuff, but do you think it prepared you a little bit for some of these tracks that you maybe are going to that have been on sim racing, but not in real life?
Good question.
I mean, definitely. I go to every place I can on iRacing. Everyone knows I spend a lot of time on iRacing when I'm not doing stuff for real racing. I've raced at Phoenix and Xfinity car for the iRacing Pro stuff. I won the iRacing Pro race there this year. So I have a lot of laps around there, and I've spent a lot of time there, and everything is really close since they laser scan the whole track and everything before it's put on iRacing. So it's definitely something to use, but it is a sim, so stuff can be different, but it's definitely something you can use.
Parker, I was going to say that and segue that. Do you feel that your experience and your success on the simulator iRacing esports program level has got you this opportunity? Not only what you've done in real races as well, because we've followed you for a couple of years, but obviously the iRacing background, because you got Ponzi Eco Tracks following you. They're iRacing on the car. As an iRacing sponsor on your race car is what I meant to say, and your real car. Do you feel like esports has helped you get this opportunity with the Xfinity Series at Phoenix and this 10-race deal you have?
I would say so. There was during COVID, I was doing as much as I could to get my name out there for the iRacing stuff. I was racing 7 days a week on iRacing on the sim every night I could to get my name out there, and I think it helped grow my name a little bit. And now I'm just going to try and do iRacing and real racing both at the same time and make myself as good as I can be.
Now, if I remember correctly, aren't you on the eNASCAR Pro Series, the eNASCAR Coca-Cola Series? Have you made it up there to that level? What is that type of competition like? Because we've seen you I think I've seen you on SARA, the Sim Auto Racing Association. I've seen you run big races with us before. I remember when we were part of that Swag Martinsville Makeup 300 race during COVID. We had that big iRacing event, and what a turnout that was. But then, of course, I believe you were in the hunt of winning things, and you got wrecked pretty much on that last restart in a shootout. And to say you were PO'd is an understatement, because obviously, Parker, that emotion's there. You're pissed off, even though you're in a computer, you're in a simulator iRacing rig, and you're going there. You get wrecked. You get somebody turn you in the wall. The emotions of like a real race car driver without the G-forces of impact, it's there. Am I right, Parker? I mean, that's the.
Yeah, it's definitely there. I remember that Martinsville race. It was a race that I actually really looked forward to, and I ended up leading 225 laps of it and then getting destroyed. So I was very upset about that race. That is probably one of the top races on iRacing I've lost that I've been upset about. So, but yeah, there's just a ton that happens on there, and I am in the eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing series. The competition there is the best of the best on the sim, and that's what everyone usually dedicates their life to, is just trying to be the best they can on the sim, and it is definitely as hard as it can get.
Parker, one more question, buddy, young man, and we'll let you go. This time flies by on these interview segments. But I will say this, with this opportunity, are you thinking Cup Series in the future? Are you wanting to run Cup, or is it just still try to get as much seat time and knowledge as you possibly can to be that awesome NASCAR driver to look for a championship when the opportunity awaits?
I mean, I would love to do that, but we need to just focus on this year and try and get all the seat time and learn everything I can this year, and then hopefully in the next coming years we'll see what kind of things open up and see what kind of deals are happening, and hopefully I'm ready at that point and maybe I can move up and do a couple cup races.
Hey, listen, before I let you go, I also want you to thank your sponsors in Segway. Parker, thanks for being on Finish Line. Good old Midwestern boy here, young man, getting ready to be in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. His debut this Saturday at Phoenix Raceway. You can watch it on FS1, the Fox Sports Partners, as well as on the watch it on FS1, the Motor Racing Network, and NASCAR Sirius XM NASCAR Radio Channel 90 will have coverage of the race. But one more question. Parker, what do you think of the new next-gen car in the Cup Series?
I was at Daytona for the 500 this year, and I actually really like them. They look really cool and they sound cool, and I'm a big fan of them.
And I've been excited of the races so far. I was on the wheelhouse, honestly, on the bandwagon, Parker, that said, all right, Daytona's Daytona. Daytona is going to be what Daytona is going to be. That's the way super speedway racing is. I've come to expect it. I know anybody else has come to expect it. But when we went to the West Coast like we are now the last 3 weeks, and you've ran the race, of course, at Auto Club. You ran the race, obviously, this past weekend at Vegas. We're going to Phoenix before we come back here next week to Atlanta. I believe that's really showed how good this car is, and the racing has been phenomenal. Parker Retzlaff, we got to roll, got our next guest on. But before I do, let you go. Thanks for being on Finish Line, young man. Never forget where you come from. Always keep that personality that you got. Be humble in this sport of NASCAR. Sometimes it changes people. And I want you to thank all of your sponsors, my friend, and good luck at Phoenix.
Thank you. And yeah, I got to thank Ponzi, first of all. They've been the biggest help to my career, and I couldn't do it without them. And Eco Tracks and Absolute Realtors, Lori and Ron, for everything they do for me, my parents, everyone that supports me. I just have to thank everybody.
Well, God bless, bud. Stay safe. Have a good time. Amongst all of the pressure that's on that level, have fun, because you doing what you do has got you that opportunity. If you remember that, it's always going to be fun. And definitely always remember that iRacing, LSRTV, sim racing is a big part to put you out on the map. I want to say that you could be the Xfinity version of Josh Berry. For what he did in late models. He had iRacing helping him in his late model career to now be in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. You're going to bang fenders with him this weekend, of course, at Phoenix. He's on a full-time basis. He's done some Cup races. Set your goal high, young man, and we thank you for being on Finish Line, sir.
Thank you.
Parker Retzlaff, the young man out of Rhinelander, Wisconsin. He will be in action. Phoenix Raceway, first debut with the NASCAR Xfinity Series. We go from Parker Retzlaff to now our next guest. Joining us on the program, ladies and gentlemen, is, of course, the driver that picked up a big win over the weekend. Great 6 opportunities. Are looking forward to all of these guys, and he's just another one of them that you always got to keep an eye on here. By the way, remember to follow us at #FinishLine, #FinishLine, and of course, as always, Hunter Robbins is joining us. The picked up a win about close to 20 years ago in the big race that is the Alabama 200 for the pro late models. Props to Stan Narrison and everybody that was there. And this past weekend, 41 cars attempted. Stephen Nassy was at the class of the field. But the old cliche is, Hunter Robbins, it's not over till it's over. You got around him when that last restart. You never look back. Welcome back to Victory Lane, and welcome to Finish Line for the first time.
Yeah, thank you. we've been trying, or since I started driving again over the last almost 2 years now. We've been trying really hard, and we've been so close. And just to get our to win the first race out of the year is pretty cool. We've been working really hard over the off season, just trying to get everything back together from the end of last year.
And you know, Hunter, a lot of people might not know this, but of course, you are married to two-time Snowball Derby winner Johanna Long. You've had success in your career. You have had the family life. You and Miss Johanna have had the babies and have had life go to where it is. What made the decision to get? Matter of fact, if you look behind him to the far right, it says Johanna Long, 2010 Snowball Derby winner. Man, time flies by, man. It seems like it was just yesterday, Hunter. But what was it like to get back on the high horse, get back in the race car, adapt to it as fast as you did, and win as quickly as you are?
Yeah, I mean, getting back in good equipment has been obviously been key. We've been working really hard. We kind of got, a little bit behind when I first got back in the car. But all throughout last year, we just kept working harder and harder, and made some big changes. But they all paid off. I just couldn't be more thankful for Ronnie Sanders. I mean, we first kind of when we left Charlotte, we moved back down to Pensacola to kind of just start our family life, kind of get away from being on the road. And I was traveling a lot with the race engineering stuff, and come back down here. Wanted to kind of put a car together, run a couple races a year, just have fun with it, and then eventually Ronnie had kind of called, and now we're racing just about as much as I can handle, and keep up with between work and during the day, and then working on the cars at night and stuff like that. But it's been tough. Been a lot of kind of sacrifice having to be made over the last year or so,
Right.
and kind of being away from the family a little bit. But luckily, I'm fortunate enough that my race shop is here at the house, and so I still get to spend time with the family and do what we wanted to do, and race.
That race paid $10,000 to win for a 200 lapper. That's pretty good money for pavement crate racing in this day and age, would you say, Hunter?
Yeah, for sure. And I know, I mean, that was probably one of the largest amounts that I guess I've won in a single race. As far as we've a lot of the super races that have been paying 10,000, we keep missing them. They keep kind of just barely eluding us there. But that was a really good race, a good turnout of cars, and that's what you got to have to be able to, for the promoters to be able to put those type races on,
Sure.
and pay that amount of money to win. And I mean, and kind of speaking of that, we've kind of been advocating. I know everybody's advocating for races that pay more to win, but also we need races that pay more just to start or finish in the top 10 for that matter, just so that that we aren't just losing money every week, that we do go to the track, at least help us keep going.
Hunter, I see you in Victory Lane this past Saturday night. By the way, great job. Bill Roth on the call, Racing America, with the coverage. If you're a yearly or monthly subscriber to Racing America, you can actually go back and check out the highlights of the race. And it was a good one. I mean, it had its entertainment. It was an exciting 200 lapper. 41 cars. Biggest ever. Stan Narrison was ecstatic, tickled to death. And not taking anything away from the other events of the weekend, but the big race is for the pro late models. The Alabama 200 is a marquee event. I was looking up at the history of that race, and holy cow, I didn't realize it was 58 years running. It's been around a long time. What did it mean to win that race and have a chance now to run for the bear, the hunt for the bear? You got the big trophy. You're at the top of the point standings now.
Yeah, no, exactly, and that was really, like I said before. I know that was the pretty much the site of my first late model win ever back in 2004, and it was a big event then. Or actually, I remember I kind of forgot. I actually, one of my first late model starts ever was at like the 2000 and I guess the 3 Alabama 200, and we actually like crashed in qualifying. Sure. And then we come back a year later and got my first win there, but. So that was really cool, and it was kind of cool just to get, like I said, to get back to victory lane and it be that race is really cool. I learned how to race at Montgomery Motor Speedway, and that's, so I got a lot of laps around there, and I've always been good there. But it takes so much. It's a team effort. Takes a lot of the people that we surround ourselves or try to surround ourselves with. I mean, we can show up to the racetrack with the best car and best driver or whatever, but if you don't have all the other pieces to go in place and to make the right calls and just make the right adjustments at the pit stop there, it doesn't matter how good you are. So we was fortunate. We had some pretty good help this weekend and made it happen.
We're chatting again here with the driver of Hunter Robbins. He is out of course, picking up a big win from Pensacola, Florida. How's the dad life going, Hunter? Obviously, things change. I've got a son myself. He's about to be 16 in July. When you become a family man, I always remember my dad telling me this: the day that you have the abilities of life change. By the way, my camera is acting up. We do have severe weather in this location area, so there is bad weather where I'm at here in our studios in North Carolina. We'll try to keep our best to press on. But Hunter, what I was trying to say is it looks like we've got a better signal now on reset.
Yep.
Is that when you become a father, your life changes. It is about what you and Johanna do for your children. What is it being like being the father, stepping out of the race car, and do you think it's made you a better race car driver as being a dad as well?
Yeah, I think so, and probably just trying to, well, for sure, always be maybe a little bit more level-headed. Trying to be a good example for our kids. I think we do that pretty good through our work ethic as it is, but also, we don't want to really act all crazy and stuff at the racetrack, and be a bad example. But so we, thinking about that, and then like I said, one of the things that being fortunate to have the race car shop here at the house, and the kids are pretty much down here. If I'm down here, they're down here for at least a couple, hour or so, and being able to spend some time with them, because it's a lot of sacrifice, and but that's kind of one of the reasons that it's so special to finally to win that race, get back to victory lane. We've been deep down, it's like, man, we really want to take a picture in victory lane with our kids, and that was cool to us. Only one of them was there this past weekend, and he was asleep, so we woke him up, and he had no idea what was going on, obviously, but he's not even 2 yet, but still, and not knowing how much longer we're going to be able to race, or I'll be able to race like I'm racing, the amount of races right now. I mean, they're getting to close enough to the age where they're going to want to start doing something, and that was one of the things that was neat. I mean, or growing up, I basically, my parents were all committed to me, and we started racing go-karts at six years old, and being able they were able to commit to me, and I kind of want to be able to commit to my kids the same way, and whatever they want to do, I want to be there. I don't want to have to miss ball games, or if it's racing or whatever. So just trying to really enjoy the racing right now while they are the age they are, and then if it comes time to really slow it down, then we will.
The cliche that is, you'll never forget it. It's like riding on a bike. Been a while since you've raced. You ran a couple of races last year, but it looks like you're going full board this year. And it's been a while since you've won full time. We've known each other for at least a decade or longer, Hunter. You and Joanna Long as well. What is the cars like? What was it like to get back in these race cars compared to when you were racing full time about a decade ago?
Yeah, I mean, I think just kind of forgetting how hard you have to really go every lap, and then being able to knowing that most of the time the car is going to stay underneath you for that long, but also just there really isn't. You always hear it, but there's really there's not much time to just kind of ride and relax out there, and let the race really just kind of get some laps on the board or whatever, because every position counts, and as the race goes on, it's just so hard to get it back or to make those passes. Sometimes, you all you end up being so equal with each other that it is really hard to pass. So, but the neat thing is like even that was one of the second pro late model races I guess I've ran since kind of starting driving again. We had ran one at Montgomery once last year, and then we went back to this one this year. But those are tough. They keep taking horsepower away from those motors. We're running like a little restrictor plate and stuff on those things now, trying to level them out or make everybody equal. But it's tough. You've got to drive them really, really hard, and one little bobble or mistake, and someone's right there on your bumper.
A few more minutes with the driver, Hunter Robbins, and we'll let him go. Hunter, what's the plan? Obviously, it's still March, new season upon us. You are from Pensacola. Do you go after the Alan Turner Hyundai Snowflake 100 in December, the Snowball Derby, and the Tom Dawson Trophy again? Obviously, y'all have had success in the past, you and your wife, of course, Johanna Long, two-time winner of the race, first female winner to ever win the Snowball Derby, as a matter of fact. Do you make a run for the Bear? Do you run for the Montgomery Pro Late Model points? You mentioned being a family man. What's the upcoming schedule for Hunter Robbins now being a dad and a racer?
Yeah, so really the Southern Super Series is kind of our main focus really to begin with this year. They got a lot of races scheduled, and there's a lot of races. It's really weighted towards the front half of the season, the first couple months, and then it really kind of spreads out to about one race a month or so. But we have one right. The biggest thing is we've got one supercar, we got one pro car, and me working a full-time job throughout the week. If that we can afford to, or not afford, but time is the biggest the limiting factor. So if something happens, we get in a wreck that's bad enough that it takes too long to fix, then we won't make it to the next Super Series race. So, but we're going to try to run all of them and maybe make a run for a championship in there. I've never really won or at least a Southern Super Series championship. I've won some track championships, stuff like that, and the late model stuff. But so I would really like to win the Southern Super Series championship, and I feel like this year could be one of my best efforts at it, just where we are with our program and the car that we got. And like I said, the biggest thing in that is just making sure we don't tear anything up and keep making it to all the races, because you got to run all the races to be a contender in the points. So that's kind of our main focus. And then we got the Pro Late Model to run and go run some of maybe the bigger money shows, and even let Johanna drive it. She's going to race it this weekend at the Rattler 125 on Saturday, and then I'm just going to run the supercar on Sunday. So it's going to be pretty exciting, and we've got a lot planned this year. But like I said, everything can kind of can change at a moment's notice if something happens. So.
And remember, Racing America will have coverage of the annual Rattler weekend. Of course, it all starts with practice qualifying on Friday, the Baby Rattler 125 for the Pro Late Models on Saturday, and then the big 250 lap, which is one of the crown jewels of Super Late Model racing. I don't think it's the crown jewel, but I do think it earns the respect of what it's done. Man, the awesome Malia Hill and everybody there have just done such an awesome job at that racetrack. I've announced on the announcing team before at Oxford not Oxford, Alabama, at the South Alabama Speedway decades ago. Awesome racetrack, great place. They've even updated it since I've been there the last time as well. And of course, check it out on Racing America, the Rattler 250. And Hunter, last question, we'll let you go. We're coming up on the top of the hour. We've got to go back to our radio affiliates to thank Network ID, as well as mention our sponsors. Last question, adapting from a pro to a super, what has that been like? And also in segue, thank your sponsors.
Yeah, that's a like I said, I was probably out there driving this weekend all out up until the race, probably driving too easy in the pro car. And like I said, you really got to drive those things because they're underpowered, and they're really all momentum. There's no real recovery, if you would, when you make a mistake or if you're a little late on the throttle or something. So the supers are harder to drive, but easier to drive at times. And maybe even easier to to ride a little bit, where like I said, on the pros they're hard. So even with the less horsepower. But yeah, no, we got a lot of contingency type sponsors that help us. I was sitting here looking at the car between 5 Star, Tilton, Pro System Brakes, Swift Springs. We don't have any huge, real big money sponsors, but we buy a lot of products, and when we try to get the best products we can, and we try to support the people that support us. So like I said, looking forward to this weekend. It's a another big money race. Like you said, it's John and the family up there, Dykes. It's always a amazing place to go race at, and yeah, it is. I think it's considered one of the, if you probably look at the 5 or 6, huge, or the extended distance late model races throughout the country. There, it's in the top 5. So we've been super close twice now. That I consider, and I think this year I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a messy week with the rain, and then it's going to be super cold this weekend. So hope everybody still comes out, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, that warm front now, cold rain on the way once that clears out of the way. So, Hunter Robbins, congratulations to us, man. Good job on the weekend, winning the Bear, winning the Alabama 200, and continued success. Thanks for being on Finish Line. We hope to have you on again.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Hunter Robbins from Pensacola, Florida, picking up the big win in the Alabama 200 this past weekend. A big for pro late model racing. I mean, that's one of the biggest events. Got to give big props to Stan Narrison and everybody involved in there. Coming up, by the way, in hour number 2 of Finish Line, Connor Hall, Colton Flinner, of course, Chandler Smith, and Dylan Newsome, all on the way here. We are going to go to commercial break. We are going to thank our sponsors. But before I do that, I wanted to try to find out how I wanted to pass this along, obviously, because we're all a big family in the racing community. Our entire racing industry is hurting with the tragic loss of some great people. Obviously, if we can show a full image instead of showing my ugly mug, just horrible. And Charles, this was outside of your location, just in Longview, Texas. But can you? Yeah, there you go. Thanks, buddy. Well, there you go. Show me and show the logo and everything else. It's fine. Here we go. Longview, Texas is the location of where that happened. And, man, it's just heartbreaking. Steven Stotts, longtime runner for DGR Racing, carrying the number 17. Taylor Gray, ARCA, Menards National Trailer from the race shop in North Carolina, going en route to Phoenix, a raceway for the ARCA race this Friday night. Tragically lost his life. 2 other passengers are okay. They've already been treated and released from the hospital. And the person that was involved in the accident from the impact from Stevens' tractor trailer hitting them was also in the hospital. They're still doing further observations on them. But the sad reality is that Steven Stotts passed away. And Charles, I'll bring you in here. I just say this humbly. Those are the unsung heroes of our industry. They don't get a lot of credit. They don't really get acknowledged, but they keep the wheels and the fires turning and burning in racing, in motorsports, and in life in general. And, Charles, I'll bring you in here. You've done traveling yourself with Race on Texas and other big karting events. I've, of course, done this for 26 years. And, you're either in the road driving or riding with somebody, carpooling, you're flying. I've rode on race haulers before. That right there is something that we do not want to see, but our heart goes out to everybody because we knows that that's something that can happen at any time. And that's not just in racing industry, that's in life as well, Charles.
Yeah, it definitely is. And, you think about when you show up to a racetrack, the stuff, the cars, the tools, all this stuff is just there. You don't think about it too much, but every week, whether it's anywhere from a local driver traveling to a track to the big league,
Yeah.
everybody has a hauler hauling it somewhere. So you don't think about it. You always think about, you drive by them as a kid, trying to get them to blow their air horn for you, and you just it's tragic. You don't think about it happening. Like you said, unfortunately, it does sometimes.
Yeah, certainly. And our thoughts and prayers are with the entire family. Obviously, DGR Racing has released a statement basically just stating that obviously everyone is in sincere, upset, heartbreak, and in remorse with the family and loved ones on the passing of Stephen Stotts. And of course, somebody that was very well known in the ARCA garage, also in NASCAR. Of course, the last couple of years, NASCAR bought out ARCA. So you see a lot of ARCA NASCAR events right there sanctioned with one another, co-handling, like for instance this weekend, Daytona, Talladega, but not only those races, Phoenix, Pocono, obviously Phoenix this weekend, you've seen it at Michigan, Kansas, other places co-sanctioned with NASCAR races, and you build a family, you build friendships with everybody that you see in the garage area, whether it's, drivers, crew members, to even those truck drivers. So a shout out to all of you weekend warriors that are the truck drivers out there, whether you're driving the dirt or pavement toter trailers across America to get somebody like Parker Retzlaff or Hunter Robbins a big win, or whether you're on the national level or driving the officials unit, big thank you. And Godspeed to Stephen Stotts, and God's, our hearts go out to the family and the loved ones, DGR Racing, on, of course, the loss of him. And, of course, the racing industry will continue because that's the way he would want it. Everybody else, we always say this, don't cry over me, move on, because that's what everybody would want to do that have a passion and a love for this sport. Coming up next, Connor Hall. He picked up the race win in the Hampton Heat 200 a couple of years ago. And in addition to that, he won the big 26-car field opener at the birthplace of NASCAR stars, Hickory Motor Speedway. Connor Hall on the way. Colton Flinner, Chandler Smith, Dylan Newsome, hour number 2, back in 2 minutes. Finish line returns after a word from our sponsors.
Let me tell you about MPM. McAllister Precision Marketing. They can assist up-and-coming racers with career advancement, promotion, and assist in sponsorship procurement. MPM also has media and professional etiquette training. They work with premier driver development teams and limited late models to late models. And they also help the teams to make it up to the levels of K&N, ARCA, Truck Series, and even NASCAR Xfinity. Contact Tanya McAllister today at McAllister Precision Marketing, 803-361-6199. Today, get on the board with MPM.
CrateInsider.com is your one source for crate racing tech and more. Whether you currently race with a crate engine or you are thinking about getting into the sport, our website has what you need. CrateInsider.com has tech videos, interviews with experts, and the best products in the industry. Dyno tested and proven, so we know they are the best products for crate engines. Visit CrateInsider.com today to get on the fast track to victory lane.
If you have not ordered at DirtCarLift.com in the motorsports racing world, you are absolutely way behind. But if you are an existing customer of the Dirt Car Lift product, you already know about why they use the concept of stop jacking and start lifting. DirtCarLift.com helps make things very easier in the pit area. Whether you need to change a flat tire, make a shock or spring adjustment, DirtCarLift.com can get all 4 sides up immediately, then having to go around from side to side to car. By the way, they have a special package and price for existing customers with a few changes to make your life a little easier. Give them a call at DirtCarLift.com today. Call them up again at 770-898-3907. 770-898-3907. And find out why the concept is true. To stop jacking and start lifting with DirtCarLift.com at the races today. Where's my jingle?
This is Finish Line.
Welcome back to Finish Line. I'm going to get you, Charles, okay? You're supposed to be my producer. You're supposed to be my number one producer, okay? Hey, look, speaking of guys that know how to get it done, look at this with my buddy, Brandon Paul. Ginger Fia in the house. Tuning in to Finish Line. Now, that's the Pomeranian puppy. And you've also got the Helping Stone. Is it a Helping Stone, Tommy Lemons Jr.? There you go. So there you go. Hey, welcome back to Finish Line. Just a shout out to some of our people. Brandon Paul's in the house from Flow Racing. By the way, they did a phenomenal job with Rob Blunt and everybody down there with the Smart Modified Tour presented by Pace-O-Matic. Of course, hey, guess who won again? Charles, I give you two guesses who won in the modifieds, but you only need one, and he's been on here 2 weeks ago.
Parker Retzlaff?
No. Matt Hirschman. Big money. Matt Hirschman. He picked up in the Smart Modified Tour, of course, at Florence Motor Speedway. Give me some instrumental music here in the background. I'm going to recap some of the races over the weekend. Obviously, Smart Modified Tour winner, of course, was the driver. And not the intro and outro closing.
That's the only music I got.
Doing? All right, that's fine. It's fine. Just go with it. When it's live, people. Smart Modified Tour winner, Matt Hirschman. Shane Clanton, also on Flow Racing. Dominated. Kick butt at Sonoy Raceway in the Ray Cook Spring National Series, O'Reilly Spring National Series. So big props to him. Also, in addition to that, where are we at? This past weekend, Ultimate Super Late Model Series in the Valvoline Ironman Late Models. Brandon Overton picked up the big $12,000 winner at Smoky Mountain Speedway in Maryville, Tennessee. Chris Ferguson leading with 2 laps to go. Blew a tire coming to 2 remaining in the race at Cherokee Speedway with the XR Southern All-Stars Racing Series, and picked up the win was Chris Smokey Madden. Chris Madden picking up the win. Other races going on around the area. I'm trying to think of some other races that were going on. Obviously, Motor Mile Speedway cranked up this weekend. Goodyear All-American Speedway had good races. We had on Josh Lauder, who won at the Carolina Pro Late Model Series at Southern National. They've got the All-Pro Limited Late Model Series with Steve Zacharias in the Mal 200, 220 this weekend at Kenley. You got the Rattler this weekend. I'm trying to think of everything else. World of Outlaws at the Rev for the World of Outlaw Case Equipment Late Model Series has been canceled due to weather. There's the big St. Patrick's IHRA Ironman race at Coastal Plains Dragway. That might be postponed because of weather. They haven't made an official word yet from IHRA and Coastal Plains. Goodyear All-American Speedway has a big race on Sunday afternoon, 3 p.m. start time. Charles, what's going on in your neck of the woods? Connor Hall ain't answered yet.
Well, let's see. Nothing too much. I'm not sure. I'd have to look to see when Lawton Speedway started. I know a lot of guys, gals, are getting the cars ready. Like the postal Facebook says, they have all winter, but they wait till the last week to actually start getting it done. So yeah, I'm not sure. Lawton Speedway is one of them. Obviously the local track closed. So really the closest track definitely, a good hour, 2 hours away. So there's not a whole lot locally going on. I know Race on Texas is gearing up for the ASCS series that they're going to be traveling with, working with Flo on.
That's awesome, by the way.
Yeah, it definitely is. I personally want to get, I've said it, I would love to get Flo, or, like Flo Esports instead of LSRTV, but hey, maybe.
Sure. Maybe one day for sure. Hey, by the way, he is Charles Wooten. I'm Wesley Outland. And by the way, while we have a break in the action, I just want to, let everyone know that in addition to Finish Line being on Fox Sports Radio affiliates in the Carolinas, we also want to acknowledge, of course, LSRTV Productions on YouTube and Facebook. We're working on a Facebook feed. And we also want to mention the Checkered app. Chris Moeller and everyone else involved in it You should check it out when you can. That's CHCKRD. That's the Checkered app on your smartphone, iPhone, Android. You check it out, download it. CHCKRD, the Checkered app. And you find a really, really lot of cool things here. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's going on. You can find all the podcasts of shows that are all around everywhere on the Checkered app. You can do like trading, selling, getting racing news, doing the media side of things like what I do on a weekly basis. And I will tell you this, and I think it's the first time that I've ever talked about it publicly, Charles Wooten, but I am going to do it here today. Coming soon. Where the hell is it? Let me find it. Hang on.
Hashtag soon,
Charles.
folks.
That's what you're here for. You're supposed to cover for me, damn it. This is what you're here for.
I can play a little jingles.
Coming soon. All the details on that show right there. You see it, Charles?
You talk about when you're live, so I'm assuming that says
the
marbles.
Green screen is green.
Yeah, it's cutting out.
The green screen is making the lettering go away. Look at that. That is so damn cool. Look at that. Yeah. So, marbles. You'll find out all the details coming soon on Marbles, this motorsports-related show on Checkered. And if you look at this guy right here, Charles, you know who that is?
I'm assuming that's supposed to be you?
That's supposed to be me, yes.
The people that know Wesley, they don't know me. There's no way we can be on any kind of app or game called Marbles. I'm pretty sure we both lost them all by now, so there is no way.
Marbles, not garbles, marbles.
No, I know, marbles. We've lost our marbles, so there's no way we can be on it.
Yeah. Marbles. He's not just marbles, marbles. You ever see that movie, Little League? Here you go. Here's a bigger version of me right there. You know, they might need to do like a little trick. Shut up! Don't laugh at me. You know.
We're turning into a real production of Fox on NASCAR with animated characters now.
That's the animated cartoon version of Wesley Outland right there. Okay, like seriously. But if you notice, Charles, I've got this little thing going on here a little bit.
Well, you're smiling in that.
It's like hell.
You're smiling in that picture or that animated, so I must be talking in your ear during it. You know, I'm seeing a resemblance, but yeah, they need to put some facial hair on there, a little peach.
So, yeah. Connor Hall, call us. It was things we come up with to fill in downtime. But anyhow, Connor Hall, I just texted him, man. I'm like, dude, you're up. Come on. Oh, I can't give you people's phone number on this show. What is it?
Well, you're in luck, Wesley, because it's so bright of a screen you can't see anything anyways. You're good.
Good.
And I think he might be here.
Finally. Good. He saves us. And by the way, before we do get him on the line,
we have guest 4, not guest 3.
Well, the hell with it. We'll just audible and bring him in then. Look at this, by the way. We're excited about this opportunity. Do you see the LSRTV and the CRN Motorsports deal? That's Devin West. This is Dan West Jr. Of course, he was singing I Believe I Can Fly on Monday in the Cup Series race. There's John Audenbacher. And in addition to that, there is my good friend from Jeff Stabnow, Billings, Montana. And we're excited to have the LSRTV Community Radio Network on the car. Of course, CRN Sports is a proud partner of the Northwest Racing Series Cup and Truck Series and iRacing, and we have inked a deal to put them on our cars for sponsorship. And, of course, in addition to that, LSRTV. LSRTV does a lot with iRacing, but they also do the video productions. Charles, we're expanding. It's about new additions, and we're excited to have those 4 there. We need to create a finish line race car. What do you think?
Hey, I'm sure we could do it. It should be pretty easy to do. We got a couple of painters, so we can make it happen.
Finish line race car. So listen, Connor Hall has bailed on us. So you know what? Let's bring in our next guest. It's coming up on a minute before his interview time. And, well, apologies to Connor Hall. Maybe something came up. Of course, he did pick up the big win over the weekend at Hickory Motor Speedway, former winner of the Hampton Heat 200. So big props to Connor Hall. Hopefully we can get him on finish line another time in the year. We do go to Allison Park, Pennsylvania in his car. ready to go. And the C-Man is in the house. He picked up a big win at Port Royal Speedway in the Keystone State of Pennsylvania. True story. What was it, 2011, 12? When he won his first Fast Track Pro Late Model Touring win at Mercer Raceway Park in Mercer, Pennsylvania. I announced that win. I've known this young man, and you're now seeing him moving up into the super late model world. C-Man Colton Flinner, welcome to Finish Line, and congratulations on your win Sunday afternoon at Port Royal.
Thanks, Wesley. How have you been?
Life is life. You go on, you're building, you're traveling, you're on the road. You know what it's like, my friend, and obviously it's always good to catch up with people like yourself. So I ain't forgotten about you. I can promise you that. I remember a year or so ago I was watching MAV TV and listening to Bob Dillner and James Essex and Dave Argabright call the Lucas race, and I think you were fast time and qualifying and started on the pole for a race, and it just brought a smile to my face because I said this young man deserves this exposure for sure.
I remember that, and I've known you for a long time racing with Fast Track, and you announcing, and us and Stan always hanging out when we came down to Livonia all those times. So this was pretty neat.
We're getting old. We're getting old, right?
We are getting old.
Bring me back on camera, Charles. Hey, we got the guy here. Look at Colton. How much gray have you got in your beard? Right? So how much?
I found some gray hair over here, so.
Gotcha. Well, listen, we're not talking about, obviously, hygiene and hair. Congratulations on your big win Saturday, Sunday, Port Royal Speedway. What did you think of that racetrack? Big win for you in the super late model, and obviously it's got to be a great lid lifter for things to come at that racetrack this year and for whatever Colton Flinner does in 2022.
Yeah, winning opening night meant a lot to our team, and I'm not a really good daytime racer, so to pick up a win in the daytime, that was pretty neat. The track was slick from top to bottom, and our car was just really, really good and maneuvered anywhere I needed it to go, and it worked out perfect.
All right, Charles, you can bring him back in on full screen, obviously. A big opportunity for this driver this year. Colton, what is the plans, man? We've seen you run Speed Weeks. We've seen you run Lucas Oil. We've seen you run other big shows. Obviously, man, it's crazy. Fuel prices on the rise, everything on the rise. Life sucks on a worldly basis. What is that doing to you and your dad, John, with the racing side of things?
My dad's Mark, but we're gonna race.
Mark Flinner. I'm sorry, Mark. Sorry.
We're gonna race pretty much anywhere. I mean, it all really depends on how the diesel price keeps climbing. That might put a stoppage to the racing traveling very far. But as of now, we're gonna run the ULMS Racing Series, that tour. We'll go to Port Royal probably. I'm pretty sure I can go to pretty much all their late model races. We'll go to Lernerville when we can, and there's some big Lucas races I'd like to go to, outlaw races, and we'll see how it goes.
Listen to my producer, Charles Wooten. He's also a co-host here on Finish Line. Colton's got a question for you. Stand by. Go ahead, Charles.
First off, thanks on the promotion to co-host. But, you mentioned the price of diesel. Obviously, the price of, everything's going up. And Wesley, you mentioned this, and we've talked about it a bunch, these big money races, that are $10,000 to win, $20,000 to win. With the price of everything going up, would you maybe rather see some of these races that are, say, $20,000 to win be $10,000 and pay further throughout the field so it's more worth your while to travel to these races?
Yeah, it'd probably make a lot of sense for them guys to put the money towards 10th back and have a good payout with the way everything costs right now. I mean, tires went up, fuel went up, diesel prices gone up. I mean, everything you buy right now, the prices have increased. So for them to add money towards the back end of the purse to help other people, that would really be good for them. But it's up to them. It's their money. But hopefully somebody thinks about that and can do that.
And, I want to come back on that segue of what Charles just alluded to, as you as well, Colton, man. The big number And obviously we've had Del McDowell on to talk about it. We've had you here now. Other people we've discussed it. Pavement and dirt. You're dangling carrots at them. Hey guys, look, come get big money, big money, big money, big money. Obviously, will that become exhausting? And does that make you finally say, look, I'd rather just go to Port Royal, or I would just rather go to Lernerville, Mercer, somewhere in your wheelhouse locally, because even though you're throwing out 50, 60, 70, 100,000 to win, $1 million to win at Eldora, coming up in June for the second return of the Dirt Late Model Dream, paying $1 million. At some point with high rises of life, Colton, it's got to make you reconsider things, even though you want to go dangle for those big money carrots.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I would love to go to the million and Bristol and all that stuff, but you got to think about the long run and what you're gonna make. I mean, only one person's gonna win that 50 grand at Bristol, or one person's gonna win that million, and you're gonna have a ton of money to go there and compete with tires and fuel and diesel and all that stuff. Where I could go to Port Royal and I have a really good chance of winning $3 grand. And I mean, I think honestly, their purse, they might even make it up to 4,000 or 5,000 to win this year, and I have a good shot at winning that every week. I have a good shot at winning Lernerville every week, and even our regional series, I have a good shot at winning those races too. So I just got to make good financial decisions on what I want to do and where the best chance of me winning to make money is.
You can bring me back here side by side with Colton Flinner. Charles, again, we're talking to the driver that won at Port Royal Speedway over the weekend from Allison Park, Pennsylvania, Colton Flinner. Coming up, of course, is Chandler Smith or Charles Wooten fill in again. Somebody in C's name is going to. And I just texted Chandler Smith. I'm waiting to hear back from him. And then, of course, our final guest will be Dylan Newsome. It's amazing we get on the air and this show flies by so quickly. I'm about to ask for 3 hours on the air. But anyhow, Colton, the industry in a whole, of what we're doing, obviously, you as a driver, I've seen you run for 1,000 to win, 1,500 to win. Hell, the race that you won at Mercer, that was the Fast Track Northeast Touring event. That was like only 2,000 to win. And that was like a big moment for you. I remembered the emotion, the tears of joy with you and Mark and the entire family. Everybody at Mercer Raceway Park. I mean, that was a special moment. Is racing still that way today as it was, it seems like 10 years ago?
I think racing's changed a lot since 10 years ago. It's still exciting and everything, but it's changed a good bit.
And what do you feel's changed in the industry?
The cost of everything. I mean, it's just everything right now is just so expensive, and it makes it hard for a little guy to compete at a higher level. And like us, we're a little team, and it's hard to compete at that high of a level with a budget.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, you did really great in the pro world, and then you move into the super late models. How did you adapt? What was it like moving from a kind of subdued, powered car in a pro late model? Not saying anything bad about pro late models. Obviously, you're going from 450 horsepower to 750, 800 horsepower, 900 horsepower in a super late model. Depends on what kind of engine package you get. Obviously, that's a big difference for a young driver like yourself.
I honestly think racing the crate division, pro late division, actually helped me move into the super and make it an easier transaction, because with the crate racing, you had to be so smooth because you only had 400 horsepower, and once you messed up, it took a while to get that momentum back. With the late model, you got to stay smooth, and it's still momentum racing at some of these tracks. So as long as you're smooth and stay steady, it was a pretty easy transaction.
A big win, obviously, Port Royal Speedway, if nobody's never seen it before, in Pennsylvania. That's a pretty big racetrack. That's also wearing out the engines, too. You've got to be smart getting around that racetrack, too. Talk about, rehash what that was like on Sunday. And in addition to that, it was a daytime race in Pennsylvania on the weekend.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that track, it's actually not as bad on motors, hard on motors as you would think. But It's a pretty big track. I mean, I told my dad that I think the straightaways are bigger there than they are at my home track, which is Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania Motor Speedway. You carry some serious speed out there. I think Port Royal is probably one of the nicest facilities we have in the state of Pennsylvania.
If you think of Port Royal, obviously if you think of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania Motor Speedway, another track I've been to as well, that is 5/8 of a mile. That is the equivalent of the same size of the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, the home of the All-American 400 in Tennessee, except it's on dirt. And you are driving wide open around that place, Colton. Give us a virtual lap on finish line of what it's like getting around the track that big and just outside of Pittsburgh. And go Steelers!
Yeah, go Steelers. Port Royal, you can pretty much run her wide open. I mean, the high side's a very dominant groove at that racetrack, but on Sunday I rode around the bottom and won there. I mean, it's a big track, momentum, so as long as you want to go fast and hold the steering wheel and run against the wall, that's pretty much how that virtual lap would go.
Definitely. Well, listen, what is the plans for this season, man? What are we going to see you do? What is the opportunities that Colton Flinner is going to try to do in 2022?
I'm for sure going to run the UOMS Racing Series. There they have a 19-race schedule. Hit and miss some World of Outlaw Lucas Oil races. I'll run Port Royal pretty much on a regular basis. I'll go to Lernerville. Pretty much just bounce around and see where the money is and where the less travel is and compete for money.
All right, well, listen, Colton, bud, big props to you. Big win over the weekend. Thanks for taking the time to join us. It looks like it's a rainy day in Allison Park, Pennsylvania. Just snowy, cold, miserable, just like it's storming and rainy here in North Carolina, which is probably not that cold. But congrats to you on your win, man. Yeah, before I let you go, hello to your dad, Mark, and everybody. Great people, man. You guys are awesome. Thanks for being on Finish Line, and thank your sponsors, sir.
Thank you for having me on there, and I want to thank John's Towing, River Salvage, All-American Framer, A.W. Beatty Career Center, Jake Brake Custom Powder Coating, Cornet Racing Engine, Penske Shocks, Jason Durham, Randy Weaver, and 1-800-GET-PHIL, and all the great people that support me on a daily basis.
You are the man, and it's always great catching up with you, C-Man. Colton Flinner, thanks for being on Finish Line, sir. Continue success this year, and we'll have you back on sometime.
All right, thank you for having me.
All right, buddy. Colton Flinner, ladies and gentlemen, of course, a big win for him. He's connecting here in any moment now, Charles. So I hate to take your thunder away, but we were getting ready to connect with Connor Hall. He had just come out of a meeting is what he was telling me. So we're going to bring in Connor Hall to fill in the segment for Corey Hedgecock. As Corey Hedgecock. Charles, I'll bring you back in here, dude. I am going to let you see this real quick.
We do have him connected too, so.
All right, good. We'll get him here in just a second. But before I do let you go, Charles, I want to get your thoughts on something, my friend. This is, of course, the guy that was going to be on Finish Line next, but he's so friggin' busy, and I get it. That's my buddy from Loudon, Tennessee. Loudon Lightning, Corey Hedgecock. Can you make my screen bigger, Charles, please? Look at this. I want to show the picture in full screen. This is Corey Hedgecock, okay? He won the Tuckasee Toilet Bowl and the trophy from William Scoggins and Company at Clarksville, Tennessee. Do you know what that is, Charles?
No.
That's where you go to blow it up. That's the toilet seat. He won the toilet seat, okay? He won a toilet seat. He got two of them darn things. He won the Super Late Model Toilet Bowl, and he won the Crate Racing USA Pro Late Model Toilet Bowl. So he's carrying two new toilet trophies to his home in Loudon, Tennessee. So congratulations to Loudon Lightning, Corey Hedgecock. He was going to be on Finish Line. Now we go to this man right here who picked up a win over the weekend at Hickory Motor Speedway. Connor Hall's in the house. Connor, what's up, buddy? Driving.
Hey, how are y'all?
That's not safe to be talking and driving,
but you're not texting, so that's all right.
I'm trying to at least keep my eyes at least looking convincing.
So do me a favor, though. I don't want you to crash in either way. So pull over real quickly, pull to the side of the road, and just real fast, turn your phone this way if you don't mind, and it'll make you look bigger on the screen. But I want you to pull over, though. Come to a stop. Come to a complete stop. I'm your driving instructor right now on finish line. Okay? Can you do it? Is it working? There we go. Yeah. Hey, you pass driving for the next 20 years in my book, Connor Hall.
There you go.
All right. There you go. Listen, welcome to Finish Line. It's good to have you back. You know, the last time we had you on, it was in the radio format only, and I think that was when you won the 2020 edition of the of what was the summer event that was the Hampton Heat 200. So it's been a while. Native out of Virginia, making the trip all the way to Hickory Motor Speedway. Big win for you, Connor Hall, over the weekend.
Actually, 2 wins. Won both races of the night. You know, really, night it was our first time with the new car, first time ever being at Hickory. So we checked off a lot of boxes in one go.
And you know, to win at Hickory Motor Speedway, man, that is a that's a feat in itself. What was it like to get around that place? That's a pretty fun, exciting 3/10 mile, 3/8 mile track, just in Hickory, North Carolina, just outside of Asheville.
Yeah, it was really, really fun. I'd been lucky to have gotten a couple laps there earlier around December or January, I believe, with the Triple R Racing guys that I'm running the Cars Tour with. And so that definitely at least kind of gave me a sensation of what I needed a race car to feel like around there. But really bumpy, has tons of characteristics, really fast actually. And it produced really, really good side-by-side racing there for a majority of the race. So it was a really, really good time.
Hey, bud, so you just mentioned the Cars Tour. Are you planning to come to North Carolina to Caraway Speedway this weekend for the Solid Rock Carriers Cars Tour, Old North State Nationals race in Asheboro?
Yeah, we were there testing yesterday, actually. I'm a part of the Touring 12 series, so you'll see us at every
Awesome.
Cars Tour race.
So he's a part of what is the Lucas Oil Touring 12, and what that is actually, and that's a big incentive, obviously. And I have to say, Connor, if you take care of the series, they're going to take care of you, and that's just kind of a way to describe what that is. If you run all the races, if you commit to the schedule, they're going to take care of you as far as your travel, your per diem, and helping you get to the events. And you can also be a part of the big points money program at the end of the season coming in November when you're back at Caraway for the 20th North-South Shootout.
Yeah, we like I said, this is our first year with the tour. We're really excited. They've always extended an invite when they've come to Langley and stuff like that. So I finally just decided to kind of try to take them up on the offer when they came to South Boston last year, and we just had such a great time with them running their last race of the year with them that we kind of made the decision if we could get in the Touring 12 that we would be more than happy to support the series.
So, Connor, my question this. Big win for you, obviously, at the Hampton Heat 200. But to Hickory, sweeping Hickory in the twin late model races, is that bigger than winning at Langley, or is still the Hampton Heat up there?
I mean, honestly, I don't know. That's a tough one. The Hampton Heat was kind of my first, in 2019. It was my biggest, win at the time. But it was really, really cool to win at Hickory just because, everybody kind of associates Hickory with that's where a lot of the good people, go to race. And,
Sure.
You got people like Josh Berry that cut their teeth there, a lot of other big names that have come out of there. I mean, I don't know. I treat every win as its own entity, and I'm just very fortunate to always compete for them. And then, when you do get them, it's always, you're very fortunate. So I don't really like to compare win for win, but it meant a ton to us to get it done.
And, of course, the season for the Cars Tour cranks up this Saturday and Sunday.
weather permitting, with the events that is the Old North State Nationals. I would say, Connor, obviously you lucked up in practice yesterday before the weathers came in overnight. It's going to settle in here for the next 3 or 4 days. But by Saturday, Sunday, have you heard anything from the Cars Tour, from Jack McNally? Miss Dublinsky, has anybody said anything in regards of a scheduling change, or is there a backup plan in case weather interferes, or are we just still too early in the week to come to that, bud?
I think it's a little too early. You never want to count your chickens before they hatch. Um, I mean, we hope we get some testing in, but if not, I think we're very prepared.
I know that in years past, I think of the first running of the Old North State Nationals at Orange County Speedway, and of course Lee Pulliam won that event. I was a part of that race, and you can bring me back here, Charles, with him. We had weather issues all the way up until Sunday afternoon or Saturday afternoon, and then they rushed to try to get everything done on one condensed day. So obviously, you think of 2 years ago at Greenville Pickens Speedway, they also had some weather-related issues and put everything to one day on a Sunday. So the powers that be at the Cars Tour, I say this humbly, and I've said this for several years, what Jack McNally, Danny Willard, Mike Bushy, everybody, Jim Bushy, his brother, everybody that is involved in the Cars Tour program have done a phenomenal job with making it close to or match a NASCAR type feel, Connor. I would say that you feel it's electric. There's an atmosphere there. The drivers are like superstars. The way they do pre-race interviews and pre-race festivities, to the way they follow a schedule and a time clock, whether it's a driver's meeting to doing the controlled practice sessions, the way the flagman Brandon Willard is. It is a well-oiled machine, and I know they're looking forward to that. Was that one of the many reasons, Connor, why you decided to jump on running the Cars Tour full-time in 2022?
I mean, obviously those are all big pluses, and they do a great job of running a really professional series. But at the end of the day, I think to be the best, you got to go beat the best, and I just think that's where our program is headed, and that's where I want to go as a driver. So I think my next step is go travel and see what I can do against the likes of all those guys and gals.
Connor, and gals as well. Yes, yeah. Yesterday was National Women's Day, by the way. So shout out to all you women out there in all the goals and aspirations that you achieve in life, for sure. But a question continued here, Connor. Have you ever considered wanting to do dirt racing? We just had Colton Flinner here on just a moment ago. Great success in dirt late model racing. You've got dirt tracks up in Virginia where you live near, tracks in the dirts on the Carolinas. Or are you a pavement guy? Are you happy with being on the pavement?
I mean, I've always said I'd like to go to the Chili Bowl. I'd like to go do some stuff like that, like a lot of maybe some midget racing, but I don't really think I have much drive to go run, dirt late models or anything like that.
Gotcha,
totally
for sure.
Totally different ball game.
Yeah, it definitely is. The way things are on dirt is totally different than pavement. But I will say this, and I've said this for so many years as well, Connor. There's things that dirt could take from pavement to use to make their program better, and it goes both ways. There's things from pavement that dirt could use to make their program go better as well. So it goes hand in hand. For sure. So definitely. I asked Parker Retzlaff this question, and you run the NASCAR late model stocks. What's your take of where we are with late model racing going in to 2022? And obviously the intentions to run the Lucas Oil Touring 12, run all the Cars Tour events. In the way the world is now, it's difficult and hard. You're going to try to stretch your dollar as best as you can. Obviously, to try to make it to the finish line at Caraway in November with rising gas prices and everything else. But I had somebody say something to me the other day about that, Connor, and they were saying us as American people are being affected now by gas prices and the rising costs of life. But as a race car driver, as a race team, you guys have been dealing with that for years now.
Yeah. we at $10 a gallon, we're used to some high gas prices. But I mean, it's definitely, it throws a wrench in it for everybody. For example, I mean, hell, I paid $172 to fill my 2500 up to go test at Caraway yesterday to drive from Virginia to North Carolina and back. And when I bought this truck 2 years ago, it was $80-$90 to fill the whole thing up. So it definitely hurts budgets a little bit, but at this point, getting this close to the series and the full schedule, we're all pretty much committed regardless of the gas price.
Of course, winner of the NASCAR late models, and you can watch it on Flow Racing. They just inked the deal last week. We unveiled it here on Finish Line. I just gave a shout-out earlier to Brandon Paul and Rob Blount and everybody at Flow Racing, Michael Rigsby, so many people involved in that. And Flow Racing is proud to sponsor, or not proud to sponsor, but they're proud to broadcast all of the NASCAR coverage, whether it's the NASCAR East, the Modifieds, the NASCAR route tracks like Florence, like, of course, Hickory, and again, Cars Tour TV will have coverage of the race this Sunday at Caraway Speedway. Connor, a few more questions, bud, and we'll let you go, man. Obviously, looking forward to a full-time run on the Cars Tour schedule. Is there a certain track on the schedule you're looking forward to racing at this year?
I got asked this question yesterday, and I think, I haven't had the luxury of being able to travel around this much and have the privilege to, run for a team like Chad Bryant and Triple R Racing. So I think each week is just going to be its own thing. I'm really excited to just tackle every week by week, and, hopefully give the team and myself some runs that we deserve.
Well, listen, man, we appreciate you taking the time to join us. My producer in Texas, Charles. Charles, you got anything for Connor Hall?
Do you have iRacing?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, used to be a pretty big iRacer, especially during the COVID times. And then now that I'm a new homeowner, I haven't been able to run an Ethernet cable to my, playroom, whatever you want to call it, where my simulator is. So she's sitting there idle.
Well, we're going to have to get you back on there. Wesley, I think we need to do a big sim race with all of the pro late model and stock late model drivers that we've had on the show. Invite them all to a free race and broadcast it.
You don't think it would be a demolition derby?
Well, it might be, but it'd still be fun.
For sure. Hey, Connor, you're what is it called, Charles? I'm just a damn broadcaster for iRacing. That's all I do. They'd stick me in front of a camera and I'd see a screen and call the race. What was it? iRating? Is that what it is? Your iRating? What's your iRating, yeah. Connor?
I think right around like 5,000-6,000.
Is that good?
I don't know.
That's pretty impressive. Mine's 800, so
it sounds like a pretty damn high number. So I mean,
I just do it for fun at this point.
Gotcha. Well, listen, are you in the Carolinas? Are you hanging out in this area, or are you back up in Virginia? Obviously, so
I'm in Virginia today. Had to do. I sell and work on some boats for a living, so I had to come back up here and get some stuff done.
You literally read my mind, buddy, because I was literally going to say that you are a yacht wholesaler. You sell yachts, you sell boats. Man, what's that like? Being a yacht boat seller during the week and race car driver on the weekend?
Yeah, it definitely helps pay the bills a little bit. It's what my family, what I've just grown up witnessing my family do, and as I got older and out of school, it just seemed like the right thing for me to do, as well as pursue my dream.
Hey, Connor, you ran some ARCA Menards racing events as well, bud. Are we going to see you back in some more ARCA races coming up soon?
No, I don't really think so. I would love to, but it's just funding's so hard right now, and I'm just, like I said, just so focused and guns a-blazing on this late model program. So unless something cool happens, I just think you'll see us with the Cars Tour this year.
Well, man, you're looking forward to it. Of course, it all cranks up this weekend. The off-season done. Speed Weeks is over now. The boys all across the country, and the girls for that matter, are ready to go. And the Solid Rock Carriers car store fires up with the Pure Year tank lines. Old North State Nationals, $30,000 to win this weekend at Caraway Speedway. The lid lifter on their 58th season of racing is also next Sunday. Charles, you got anything? Are you all right? Sound like you fell over in your chair. He's choking on a warhead. Connor, before I let you go, buddy, thank your sponsors. We appreciate you being on Finish Line, sir.
Yep, just like to say thanks to Breeden Concrete, Town Bank, First Team Automotive, Release Fighting Chairs, Liquid Performance, and Not Done Yet Sport Fishing.
There you go. Hickory Motor Speedway, big winner, sweeping the weekend. Pull out that broomstick, sweeping it, getting it done in the late models. Connor Hall, thanks for being on Finish Line, sir, and good luck this weekend at Caraway Speedway. Connor Hall, again, big winner. We thank him for being on. I thought we lost him there for a second, Charles. I thought we lost him. I thought I lost you. He's not. Cut your mic on so they can hear you. He was literally like, I was like,
Charles, so now
Charles?
now that the audience can hear me, so behind the scenes, I eat food and stuff and drinks, and I got this 3-pound bag of Warhead sour candies, and I ate one and kind of choked on it. So that's what's going on behind the scenes.
You know what? I laugh about it now, but if you would have fell over choking, I'd have been like, "Oh man, this is not good." Folks,
let's be honest. This is a truthful show. If I would have fallen over choking, no, probably no. Jeff could have killed it, but if I had fallen over choking, I would have expected you to laugh because you broke your chair 3 times, and I laughed at you every time. So I guess it's only fair.
Yeah, but choking's a serious thing, though.
So it's falling out of a chair.
Falling out of a chair and busting your ass is one thing. Going Heimlich maneuver, and you can't do it, and there's nobody there. That's a different story. Okay, so yeah, don't put me in that category, Charles. Getting red, getting mad thinking about it. Don't do that to me.
I would laugh at me. So
Charles Booten.
If I was choking, I'd laugh at me too if I could. So, yeah,
wow.
I figure while we have a little bit of time, we were talking to Parker earlier. We haven't talked a whole lot about the upcoming race on the 20th, the Invitational.
Yes, man. Super Late Model Invitational. It has been changed the time slot, right?
Yes.
Changing the time. And by the way, speaking of time, listen to this. Daylight savings time is back, baby. For those people that love to be nocturnal and night owls like me, and you like getting an extra daylight. Hang on, I'm starting that all over because I completely destroyed it. If you're not a fan of it getting dark early, this is the weekend to set your clock back. 2 a.m. becomes 3 a.m. Saturday or Sunday, March the 13th. So Charles, make sure you set your clock so we're not late for the major series on Sunday.
Oh, see, I go by my phone and my computer, and it sets automatically. So I don't think I have a clock in this house that doesn't set.
Blah, blah, blah. I got microwaves. I got coffee pots. I don't drink coffee. You think I did, but I'm just a fan of Pepsi. I got microwaves. I got coffee pots. I've got, the clocks, the manageable clocks with on the batteries. So yeah. So set your clock ahead in an hour, okay? And for those that have automatically doing that, then you're fine. You're good. All right, what were you going to say? The iRacing LSRTV Super Late Model Invitational.
Yeah, we've got that coming up on the 20th. Definitely be looking for that. Obviously, you said your stuff canceled, so we have the main sim stuff coming on tonight.
Yes.
I believe you said Friday your stuff got canceled too as well.
Yeah. Yeah,
so now we got you on the LTAC for that. So, yeah, check them out. We got a lot of stuff coming on here on the channel.
Charles, I got a question. Is there any way that you can zoom up on the broadcast what I think is the biggest iRacing super late model wreck in the world that happened with Justin Prince and myself on the call
Monday night at Daytona while we're waiting to get Dylan Newsome? Can we do
might
that?
be able to pull that up. Let's find out.
I know you just tagged me in a clip the other day, so just hit that clip and see if you can put it through the little screen there, and then I'll shut up so you can see it, because this was by far the opening round of the Northwest Racing Series, Season 3 of the Cup. It's every Monday night. Truck Series is on Thursday. We did qualifying, duels, and the race all in one night, not in 2 or 3 week succession. We did it in one night. It was an honor to work with professional iRacing broadcaster Justin Prince, and they had what we called the biggest wreck ever in iRacing. Charles, I think, is trying to cue it up.
Yeah, we're going to see here. Hopefully we cue up the right thing. All right, so this is going to be I don't think we'll have any audio for this, but either way, they're going to get to see it. But this was a very massive wreck. We may not. No audio. We won't have audio, but they can see it. They'll be able to hear us. So let's cue it up real quick.
Cue it up. Watch this.
It's probably one of the wildest wrecks we've ever seen. I know it's the biggest wreck I've ever seen.
So that's the number 4. And then, of course, you see, my goodness, all these cars get turned. And then all hell breaks loose. A massive crash. I've never in my life, you see it in real racing, you see it at Daytona and Talladega. Can we back up one more time and show it one more time? Watch this. Look at this. This was midway in the opening quarter of the race. Watch it one more time. Look, it just turned, wrecked.
And then here comes the second round.
And look at this. It's like ping pong balls all piling into one another. And Charles, if I'm trying to remember correctly, didn't that car that got turned in the big crash, didn't he come back to win? That's Cole Raz, wasn't it?
I believe so, yes.
Raz and Brightsman.
Yeah, Raz is in 5th place right now.
Yeah. And that was, by the way, Reynolds was the one that got turned and flying through the air. Look at that. Oh, my goodness. Look at this massive crash. And if you ever get a chance, check it out. iRacing, it's fun. It's exciting. And, yeah. Well, thank you for covering me. You got me caught. I'm trying to text somebody here. Dylan Newsome, where are you? Oh, my goodness. So.
Yeah, but that was again. It was probably the worst wreck I've ever seen on iRacing, or at least on LSRTV, for that matter. And
was it not crazy?
I've had No Excuses Sim Series TV. I've had Virtual Racing Network, and I've also been with Max Speed TV for a while, and then LSRTV when I bought it and then sold it. And again, out of all those in 6 years on iRacing doing this, I've never seen a wreck that involved the actual big one of that many cars.
So I'm trying to reconnect to our guy here, Dylan Newsome, Goldsboro, North Carolina driver. Picked up a big win, late model win, Goodyear All-American Speedway. By the way, I want to give them a shout out. They're racing, obviously, this Sunday as well. It's a Sunday event. It's not Sunday, it's Sunday. Not Saturday, it's Sunday. And that is a 3 p.m. start time. The Tides of March, 125. And it looks like now they've actually changed it to a 2 o'clock start time. So it is 2 p.m. now. So yes, the races are still on schedule. Practice has been canceled today to tomorrow afternoon, and 2 p.m. on Sunday. It is the race that will be going on any day now. Hello. There we go. I'm confused. One says 2 p.m., one says 3 p.m. But anyhow, there it is right there. You see that? Yeah. Sunday, 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 be there. Charles, you remember those Munster truck promos where those guys do that stuff?
I do.
Goodyear All-American Speedway. And by the way, the luck of the Irish, it is green. And the green screen is literally, look at it. It's like Matrix. Look at the, woo. Do you see this?
Oh, I see it. I don't think
stuff up.
I don't think we're gonna get our final guess.
Yeah. I just got a text message from him. I've joined, got a red box with my camera and mic on. He says I've joined.
I've never heard of anyone getting a red box.
I got a red box with my camera and mic on. All right, let's reset again. By the way, we're coming up on the top of the hour. We're going to thank our sponsors on the radio affiliates. We'll let everybody go, and we're going to come back, and we will go with Dylan Newsome right after this on Finish Line. We'll see if we can help him out on the technical side. One more guest to go. We're back in a moment.
Let me tell you about MPM. McAllister Precision Marketing. They can assist up-and-coming racers with career advancement, promotion, and assist in sponsorship procurement. MPM also has media and professional etiquette training. They work with premier driver development teams and limited late models to late models. And they also help the teams to make it up to the levels of K&N, ARCA, Truck Series, and even NASCAR Xfinity. Contact Tanya McAllister today at McAllister Precision Marketing, 803-361-6199. Today, get on the board with MPM.
CrateInsider.com is your one source for crate racing tech and more. Whether you currently race with a crate engine or you are thinking about getting into the sport, our website has what you need. CrateInsider.com has tech videos, interviews with experts, and the best products in the industry. Dyno tested and proven, so we know they are the best products for crate engines. Visit CrateInsider.com today to get on the fast track to victory lane.
If you have not ordered at DirtCarLift.com in the motorsports racing world, you are absolutely way behind. But if you are an existing customer of the Dirt Car Lift product, you already know about why they use the concept of stop jacking and start lifting. DirtCarLift.com helps make things very easier in the pit area. Whether you need to change a flat tire, make a shock or spring adjustment, DirtCarLift.com can get all four sides up immediately than having to go around from side to side to car to car. By the way, they have a special package and price for existing customers with a few changes to make your life a little easier. Give them a call at DirtCarLift.com today. Call them up again at 770-898-3907. 770-898-3907. And find out why the concept is true. To stop jacking and start lifting with DirtCarLift.com at the races today. Back. Mr. Voice.
This is Finish Line.
Thank you, Charles. And thank you, by the way, to the Mr. Voice man there. I appreciate him. Longtime friend of multiple years. He does a phenomenal job. Guys, Dylan Newsome. Dylan Newsome is trying. Got to give him an A for effort. Not going to give you his number, but I will say he's trying. Okay, he's trying, Charles. Something's going on for some reason, so we can't get him. But I'll just say on his behalf, congratulations on his go get you some lunch. Oh yeah, sorry about that. I'll just say on his behalf that Dylan Newsome, I can join the stream. My camera is on, and my video is inside of a red box. I thought a red box is where you got movies at a kiosk, Charles. So listen, I just want to say this. Just go ahead and cue up our music. We're going to get out of here. I literally just got a text that says all systems go. So we will have soccer tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern, varsity baseball at 7 o'clock. JV is canceled, and JV game for weather is canceled as well. So we will have them tentatively right now at a 2 o'clock update for tonight. Bruce Barrett and myself will be there for the call along with Mark Coates. If anything changes, we'll let you know. This is pertaining to our athletics broadcast coverage on Community Radio Network, not anybody else. But with that being said, Charles, your final thoughts, buddy, we get out of here.
It's apparently rainy and wet where you are, dry here. Snow's coming later this week, I think, here. Hopefully not too much. Unfortunately, that we couldn't get our last guest, but we'll have to figure out what the red screen is. I do apologize for that because we haven't had that issue before. So with Redbox, we will dig into that and see what the technical issue was.
All right. Well, listen. Shout out to Tom Ryan. He's watching Finish Line. I know he is. Oh my goodness. Brandon Paul. Thank you guys. Always fun times. Yeah, there you go. Hey, in closing, maybe we can give Charles Dylan Newsome a helping stone to get him on Finish Line another time. By the way, though, congratulations to his big win at Goodyear All-American Speedway. Big races going on. Cars, dirt, pavement, drag racing, karting. 2022 is here. If only the weather will cooperate. Be good to one another. Keep on praying for everybody across America, for our troops, for everyone. For Rocket Media and LSR Productions, Fox Sports Radio affiliates, for Jeff Stabnow, Charles Wooten, I'm Wesley Outland. Enjoy the rest of your week. We'll see you next Wednesday. Finish Line. Peace out.
Let me tell you about MPM. McAllister Precision Marketing. They can assist up-and-coming racers with career advancement, promotion, and assist in sponsorship procurement. MPM also has media and professional etiquette training. They work with premier driver development teams and limited late models to late models. And they also help the teams to make it up to the levels of K&N, ARCA, Truck Series, and even NASCAR Xfinity. Contact Tanya McAllister today at McAllister Precision Marketing, 803-361-6199. Today, get on the board with MPM.
CrateInsider.com is your one source for crate racing tech and more. Whether you currently race with a crate engine or you are thinking about getting into the sport, our website has what you need. CrateInsider.com has tech videos, interviews with experts, and the best products in the industry. Dyno tested and proven, so we know they are the best products for crate engines. Visit CrateInsider.com today to get on the fast track to victory lane.
If you have not ordered at DirtCarLift.com in the motorsports racing world, you are absolutely way behind. But if you are an existing customer of the Dirt Car Lift product, you already know about why they use the concept of stop jacking and start lifting. DirtCarLift.com helps make things very easier in the pit area. Whether you need to change a flat tire, make a shock or spring adjustment, DirtCarLift.com can get all four sides up immediately, then having it go around from side to side to car to car. By the way, they have a special package and price for existing customers with a few changes to make your life a little easier. Give them a call at DirtCarLift.com today. Call them up again at 770-898-3907. 770-898-3907. And find out why the concept is true to stop jacking and start lifting with DirtCarLift.com at the races today.
Okay, so we're back on Finish Line, and our intentions is obviously to get all of our guests on the program. If we go a little bit late, so be it. I just got a text that my earlier broadcast obligations have been postponed due to the weather, and I wanted to get this guy on the program because you always remember your first. You remember your first kiss. You remember your first breakup. You remember your first marriage. You remember your first divorce. And obviously, you remember your first race car win if you're a driver, especially in late models. So, first child, I want to throw that out there. Dylan Newsome is finally with us out of Goldsboro. He picked up the big win in the late model stock event at Goodyear All-American Speedway on Saturday. Dylan, we finally got you, man. Welcome to the Red Box and welcome to the hot seat.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys for having me. I don't really know what was going on. I joined in. I could see my face up here, but I guess I wasn't like fully in. I don't really know.
Well, listen, we are a little bit over time, but I don't care. I love to take care of my people, and you're one of my peeps. Congratulations to you. It was, listen, I'm still peeling from the sun where it was so beautiful over the weekend in Jacksonville at Goodyear. But, man, it was exciting to throw the checkered flag over your car first. I was up in the flag stand. Yes, I'm an announcer / flagman, and I flagged this past Saturday night. Or Saturday afternoon, actually, and you were the first car that I waved the checkered flag to, the VP Racing Fuels checkered flag over the field in the late model race, of course, on Racing America. And I'll tell you what, man, you had to work for it. Rusty Daniels is no slouch. He's one of the greats of this area when it comes to late model racing from Alliance, North Carolina, from wins to championships. And it looked like and I said this, and Dylan, I want to get your take on it from the cockpit. But from topside up in the flag stand, I noticed massive cloud cover coming over the racetrack at about halfway point of the late model race. When that happened, it looked like Rusty's car really started to free up, get loose, if you will. Did that open the door to allow you to run him back down and get the win?
I truly think we probably had the same issue when it came time to like go and really get at it for the checkered, but we both were kind of sliding the right front when we get to the center of the corner, and I just had to wait on it, and I knew that'd be my only chance to drive up under him and get past him. So I mean my car really didn't change much. I mean we kind of rode behind Michael and saved tire for the competition caution, but I mean, once it got to that halfway point, I don't really think that the cloud cover may have changed the track temp too much, or changed mine or his car. Just we pretty much had the exact same car at the end there. Just I think we just handled it a little bit differently.
So we are again talking with Dylan Newsome. You see the Pennington Automotive number 44 machine in the background. You're in a race shop. You're echoing. Hello, Echo, Swindling Echo. You have an echo there inside the race shop. I like it for sure. Man, I see trophies behind you. I see a dirt bike behind you. I hear the rain falling on the roof in Goldsboro like it is here in Clayton in our broadcast studios. Take us on a tour, Dylan. Show us some of those trophies that you've got there behind you. What kind of accomplishments are those from, buddy?
Pretty much the first few you see back here, those are our 4-cylinder wins from like 2017, a little bit into 2018.
Yeah.
And then the other side, we've got Charger wins, just a couple of toys back there. I mean, just stuff we like to play around with out here at our little farmhouse. So that's about it.
Listen up, my producer in Texas, Charles Wooten's got a question for you here, Connor. Dylan. Sorry, Dylan.
My question is, the dirt bike, is it for racing or is it just your little pit bike that you run through the pits in?
It's actually my buddy races dirt bikes. His name's Kanan Miller. He's pretty stout, and he's talked me into buying one. But I told him I could not race it because if I got hurt on a dirt bike, I'd be really upset to the point if I couldn't drive a race car, I'd be real upset with myself. So I kind of just piddle around out here. And I might go to a little. There's a jet flying over. I'm sorry. But
I love it.
I might. I mean, I've gone to the track.
The hell with the rain. I like to hit with.
I can't race.
Yeah. The hell with the rain. I want to hear the jet roar by, man. That's like a flyby.
Yes, sir.
And by the way, Dylan Newsome does live in Goldsboro, and that is the home, Charles Wooten, of Seymour Johnson Air Force Base. The U.S. Air Force and those jets are fly by back and forth all the time. And where I live in Clayton, just off of the bypass on 70, which is, 25 miles from Goldsboro, you do hear those jets. You hear the afterburners. You hear them flying through the air all the time. So let's talk about your career, Dylan. Obviously, man, you were filled with emotion. Late model racing. How long have you been running late models? Ain't it been like 2 years? 2 years in late models?
This past race, I wouldn't say it was our very first late model race. We've started a couple, but it was in our other car. It was a Charger car, and we were just really behind with that car, kind of trying to make car count. And it was competitive in Charger, a good competitive Charger car. It was a great car, but it really couldn't run with them guys. I mean, we tried our best to dial it in and just couldn't get it perfect. You know what I mean?
So this win, I'm trying to make sure I say this correctly, because have you won other late model wins or Charger wins at Southern National, Wake County, Goodyear, Carteret, but this is like your first official late model win, late model stock win?
Yes, sir. It was our first late model win. We've won a good amount of Charger races in the past couple of years, but that was our first race in this car. We got it not long ago, and it's a whole lot better than our other one. We thought our other one was pretty good, but once I sat in this one, it's pretty special.
So let's take everybody to school here, Dylan. Let everybody know the difference between, we've talked about pro late models. We know that's crate engines. We've talked about limiteds before. Tell everybody the difference between a Charger car and a late model stock car.
So Charger car is practically, it's the exact same car, except you run no bump stops, possibly a little bit more weight, less carburetor, and you're pretty much guaranteed to always be on scuffed tires. So, you might show up to the race with the best car, which we felt like we always did, but you might get screwed on the tire situation. Somebody else might get screwed. You might have a great car. It's really random, but it's definitely more affordable than buying, going with a new tire program. But just the Charger car is a big question mark. You never know what you're gonna get tire wise.
And of course, you mentioned the tires. Scuffs obviously are a lot different than the full race package tires like you see with NASCAR on television, or you see the scuffs. The scuff tires are used. It's a nice way of saying they're used tires, right? And really with
Yes,
a
sir.
used tire, you're not getting the new tire where they're completely treaded. Yeah.
They are, for sure, you get some that have definitely been used. Sometimes you might get some that are, still showing seams down the center of them, and you got great tires, but they could be hard as bricks. They could have sat outside somebody's shop for months, and there's just no telling what you get.
Again, his first career late model stock win at the Goodyear All-American Speedway, of course, is the driver of Mr. Dylan Newsome out of Goldsboro, North Carolina. They're racing on Sunday. Dylan, what's your take of what Anthony and Tanya Goodyear, Andy Marquis, Summer Real, Jack Ward, everybody that's involved at Goodyear has done since they've got that place back open again last summer and preparing for an exciting 2022 full season? They ran the Winter Series. Go ahead.
Man, Anthony and Andy and all them people, Tanya, they got still got me my phone.
Try again. People calling you, leave him alone. He's on the air.
Anthony and all them, they got a great program going on, man. I think they brought that track back to life. It was closed down for a little while, and Anthony got a hold of it, and I think they got some good stuff going on.
Back, Charles.
I'm sorry.
No, I was telling my producer he could bring me back. I thought I'd muted my mic, but I didn't. My apologies. No, but go ahead. What you were saying about Anthony and Tanya. They're just awesome people. I've just you see all the work they're doing. Key and all the people there doing the videos and the promos, and I cut the voiceovers, and obviously the great relationship with Andy and with Racing America. That's got to be really cool too, Dylan, because there's a race, your first late model stock win. You have it on video, you have it on a broadcast on Racing America, where you'll always have it as a memory.
Yeah, absolutely. I can go back anytime and watch it. I'm not gonna lie, I probably watched it 2 or 3 times already, but it really wasn't watching it. I definitely enjoy watching it, but I was more watching it trying to study it a little bit.
Well, again, we appreciate you for finally making it here, man. We didn't want to go off the air. Of course, I knew this was a big win for you, your career first win, and obviously it's special for you. What is your plans for the rest of the 2022 racing season, Dylan?
We're definitely going to be running for points at Goodyear, and also we're going to go down to Carteret and try to run for them big money races and see what we got. We don't know if it's a limited late model or if it's late model, true NASCAR late model stock yet, but either way, we're going to definitely try to make our way down there.
Well, ready to close us out, of course, is the man here on Finish Line of Dylan Newsome. And Dylan, man, congratulations to you. Big win.
big props for you. Obviously, the Newsome Racing family got to be exciting. I know you got a family business. And you're wearing the hat, Newsome Towing and Repair, and obviously I know you got Pennington Automotive. But if you got any other sponsors, mention them now, because honestly, that's the heartbeat of keeping you guys racing. And congrats to you. Thanks for taking the time to somehow get the technical stuff fixed and get you off the red box to a green light and get you here on finish line this afternoon.
Yes, sir. Look, I appreciate you guys for having me. Richard McCray and Ricky McCray with RH McCray's Electrical out of Rockingham, man, they really look after us. Lazy Gators Hemp Farm, Wendell Davis, I mean, he's probably the biggest man behind this car. He gets it done, gets up set up and everything, and we spent a lot of time with him. Pennington Automotive, Newsome's Towing. I mean, there's tons of people to help out on this thing to help us complete our goals.
So listen, I'm looking right here. I know you're on Dylan Newsome on Facebook, but where can they follow you on social media? Do you have a Facebook, Twitter, Instagram handle for your racing page?
Yes, sir. I got I'm on Instagram and I'm also on Twitter. I don't really do too much with Twitter, but I will occasionally go up there. You can probably just look up my name and you'll find me on both of those.
All right, bud. Well, listen, we appreciate you for taking the time to join us. Big props, big win for you. Look forward to seeing you again. And you never know. That's big race, Battle of the Stars, and all these other big shows coming up. And a final question. Are you going to try to go for the Solid Rock Carriers Thanksgiving Classic and the NASCAR race at Martinsville Speedway? Or is there still a lot more planning to do to think about making those races in the fall?
I think
Thanksgiving Classic last year at Southern National and the Chargers. I was there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. We won the last two.
So. Yeah, so definitely Chargers late models. And by the way, Chargers will be in action this Sunday afternoon, 2 p.m., 3 p.m. start time at Goodyear All-American Speedway. Will we see you in that car, or are you just going to focus on your late model? Final question, and we'll go let Charles get some lunch.
We're just going to focus on late model. I think for sure we're going to stay focused on late models. The Charger situation is a little bit not weird, but we're ready to get away from the scuff tires and truly let it come down to setup and driver ability.
Gotcha, man. All right. Well, listen, I think it's chicken or fish for Charles in Texas. So my producer's he's growling at me right now. So he wants us to get off the damn air. So Dylan Newsome, thanks for your time, buddy. Congratulations to you. Look forward to seeing you again, and we'll have you on finish line another time.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
All right, buddy. Dylan Newsome, ladies and gentlemen of Goldsboro. We finally got the whole show in. Finally. All right, Charles, your final take. All right. It sounds like you're breathing hard. You're hungry, you're mad, you're great, you're hangry. You're hangry.
Well, to put it the air-friendly way, I told you before stream, I never did go. The little boys' room has been calling me since the beginning of this thing 2.5 hours ago. So I gave up on the hunger food.
We're not even off the air yet, and my producer makes me make a round of pit stops. So
I've taken 4 tires and fuel.
Let's just get out of here. Don't worry about the music. Just play the closer for everybody here. No, well, professional as always, Charles Wooten. Thanks to all of our guests, man. It was a good time. It was a good show. We are glad you stuck around with us. I know we went about a little 30 minutes extra, but we definitely wanted to get Charles. We wanted to get Dylan Newsome on the show.
Yeah, we do our best to get everyone on the show. Regardless, we don't know what the issue was. We'll figure that out. But, hey, we got him on. That's all that matters.
Thanks to Josh Lauder, Parker Retzlaff, Connor Hall, Colton Flinner. Of course, again, Dylan Newsome joining us, and Charles Wooten, my producer / co-host. Be good to one another. Thank you for watching. For those that are a part of the Community Radio Network, soccer, Bruce Barrett on the call. Varsity, 6 p.m. Eastern. And then varsity baseball at 7 o'clock. Clayton Apex is going to be a big game. We've got it for you. Just got the text. All systems are go at 6 and 7 p.m. So that's for CRN, the Community Radio Network. Thanks to all of our radio affiliates of Fox Sports Radio, iHeartRadio Sports, Rocket Media, Jeff Stabnow, Charles Wooten. We're out of here. I'm Wesley Outland. Enjoy the rest of your week. Keep on praying for America. I think I said that already a second time on our closing. Bye-bye. Have a good one.
Let me tell you about MPM. McAllister Precision Marketing. They can assist up-and-coming racers with career advancement, promotion, and assist in sponsorship procurement. MPM also has media and professional etiquette training. They work with premier driver development teams and limited late models to late models. And they also help the teams to make it up to the levels of K&N, ARCA, Truck Series, and even NASCAR Xfinity. Contact Tanya McAllister today at McAllister Precision Marketing, 803-361-6199. Today, get on the board with MPM.
CrateInsider.com is your one source for crate racing tech and more. Whether you currently race with a crate engine or you are thinking about getting into the sport, our website has what you need. CrateInsider.com has tech videos, interviews with experts, and the best products in the industry. Dyno tested and proven, so we know they are the best products for crate engines. Visit CrateInsider.com today to get on the fast track to victory lane.
If you have not ordered at DirtCarLift.com in the motorsports racing world, you are absolutely way behind. But if you are an existing customer of the Dirt Car Lift product, you already know about why they use the concept of stop jacking and start lifting. DirtCarLift.com helps make things very easier in the pit area. Whether you need to change a flat tire, make a shock or spring adjustment, DirtCarLift.com can get all four sides up immediately, then have it go around from side to side to car to car. By the way, they have a special package and price for existing customers with a few changes to make your life a little easier. Give them a call at DirtCarLift.com today. Call them up again at 770-898-3907. 770-898-3907. And find out why the concept is true to stop jacking and start lifting with DirtCarLift.com at the races today.
This episode is an exclusive production solely for the private, non-commercial use of our listening audience. Any publication, reproduction, transmission of the accounts without the express written consent or permission is restricted and prohibited. To hear this replay or other previous podcasts, download on iHeartRadio, iTunes Radio, and TuneIn. As always, this show is for you. Thank you for listening.